and welcome to your watch along for the day of reckoning. Major mega fight going on in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia right at the moment. I am Jo Ankia. I'll be hosting today alongside a rather lovely group of people. First of all, on my far left, Keith Fraser, who I know you've all met many times before, who's hosted a few of these and done many of your interviews on Seconds Out. Ali Ahmed, a boxing trainer, boxing coach, professional boxer. Give us a little bit of your background.
Yeah, I've just been in the boxing game for over 13 years, work out of West London, and been working in and around professional boxing for the last 4 or 5 years.
Excellent. And you are working with this man to my right, Jordan Thompson, who 2.5 months ago fought the man who just finished his fight against Elisoro in under a round, Jai Opetaia, getting that pronunciation right. Yep. Jordan, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us.
Good, man, good. Glad to be back. Good. I'm excited for this, to be fair. Excited for the card as well. But no, we're in a good place. We're in a good space. We're looking forward to the card tonight. Some massive fights ahead.
Oh, huge fight ahead. And I want to get your thoughts on that Jai Opetaia fight that we just saw. But we are in the middle of another fight going on right now with Kabayel and Makhmudov. We are in round 3. Yeah. So let's focus on this fight for the moment. And then at the end of that, I'm definitely going to have a bit of a catch up with you about where you're at, your last fight against Jai, and what you thought of what he just did against Elisoro. Cool. So let's put the headphones on. We're in to round 3.
I've got a pair of headphones. But...
Keith, where's your headphones, mate?
Where's my headphones?
He's lost them already, Jordan.
Misplaced them.
So, Keith, what were you saying? What were you thinking so far about Makhmudov?
I haven't seen much of him before, apart from clips. And, me being a lover of the sweet science, he doesn't show enough of the sweet science for me. To me, he leaves his hands very low. He stands very square on. He's obviously a big, powerful guy, but he's going to cause problems in terms of his size and power. I don't know. Obviously, I always bow to the knowledge of my superiors, the people in the boxing game, like Ali and my main man over there, Jordan. But this is me as a fan, big fan. He doesn't do much for me, and I'll be interested to know what you guys think.
Do you know what? I think with someone like Makhmudov, what you're going to get with him every single time he gets in the ring is an entertaining fight. I don't feel like he said he's not the most... there we go. Goodness. He's not the most slickest of fighters, but...
Kabayel's on the front foot.
As offensive as well as he can box, I think he's pretty vulnerable defensively, so I think that makes for entertaining fights all around. Like, he's one of them. He's very good when he's letting his hands go, but he's also susceptible to getting hit himself, so... It makes for entertaining fights.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Do you not think, Jordan? I mean, if he came up against, an elite guy, he's just too open.
Yeah, he's very open.
Many gaps.
Yeah,
he's
for
got
sure.
Too many gaps. I mean, you can see it here right now. He's getting caught with counter left hooks.
Yeah.
It's a good
and he's on the back foot, and he's hurt.
This is a great fight, though, isn't it? Great matchup in terms of both of them unbeaten. Plenty of knockouts on both of their records.
That's the same, both punches as well. This is the thing. It's definitely. This is the best fight of the card so far. That's for sure.
Well, he's doing the work.
Yeah, it's a good fight, man.
So far, who's looking best to you?
I'd say as Makhmudov's looked in control, but I think Kabayel's done very well. Making it awkward and surviving. I think he's growing in confidence now. By the looks of it, I just feel like he's getting into the fight. He's letting his hands go a lot more.
In this round, he's really stepped it up.
He's getting a lot more success.
Kabayel definitely finding his way through.
Yeah, he's finding the target as well.
It's going to be very interesting here, Keith. It's like what you're saying. He's very flat-footed.
Flat-footed, square.
Yeah. Don't like the body, man.
This is the best round of the fight so far.
Interestingly enough, and I don't know what you think, but Makhmudov, he reminds me of a sort of like even slower version of Deontay Wilder. He holds his body very square on, as does Deontay Wilder. He's quite flat-footed, and he also overswings on his punches.
Yeah,
Jordan.
Yeah, you're not wrong. No, you're definitely right there.
I think
there's a lot of gaps and openings in his defense, but I think that's what makes him who he is and makes him such an exciting fighter. I think that's why people love him, because of that sort of mindset and that no nonsense approach. He's not very defensively aware, but he's just all action.
Yeah.
So that was a really good round there by Kabayel especially, who I would say is the underdog in this, even though they're both unbeaten. Kabayel 17-0, Makhmudov 23-0. Should have said earlier, by the way, if you want to tune into the fight, Day of Reckoning, DAZN, and if you want to watch us as well, DAZN.com/SecondsOut to watch us with the watch along and to subscribe.
Got caught with quite a big shot there, to be fair, Makhmudov, and then he stayed on his feet.
Got a good chin, takes a good punch, which I think helps with his style, but Kabayel's definitely getting a lot more confident now as the rounds are going on.
I'm interested to ask both you, Ali, and Jordan. Ali, obviously, because you train boxers. I don't know what you think, but can you train someone to have a good chin? Because this guy's he's very thick set. He's obviously got a huge neck. That will obviously help his punch resistance, correct? How do you train someone to improve their punch resistance?
You can do, obviously, through strength conditioning work and neck exercise, etc. But I would say it's more down to your genetics. And obviously, as you can see, he's very flat-footed, so he's taking a lot of shots. And because he's seeing what's coming, it's a lot easier for him to absorb what's coming towards him, if that makes sense. But with regards to the training side of it, in my opinion, I don't know what Jordan thinks, but
what can
you can do certain strength exercises, but it's not really going to.
If you can either have a chin,
have a major effect.
I do believe you can improve your chin. You know, I'm trying to say you can improve your punch resistance, but I think you either got a good chin.
He's going to get stopped. Sorry, Jordan, to cut you there, mate.
Gosh.
He's going to lose this fight. He's too open.
Kabayel. First upset of the cards. What we say?
Yep, 100%.
That's what it's looking like.
100%.
Is he going to get up, Makhmudov?
No, he'll get up.
He's getting up, right?
It's the combination punches that's what's doing it. It's the combination punches.
Asking himself them questions right now.
He looks very tired, Makhmudov.
Yeah.
So,
and he's not having
it.
Firing back a bit.
You're just getting hits.
Way too much.
Oh my god! But he's the type of guy that could also.
I mean, look at him. He's way
as well.
He's fatigued. You can really tell he's gassed out.
Looking for the big shot himself.
Entertaining, all right.
Very. It's the best
fight
so far.
That's what people like.
I'll be honest with you.
Swinging from the hips, though. He's swinging from the hips.
You know,
I'm here for it.
Barry Hearn.
That's beautiful. He's going to the body.
It's good action, though.
Go to the body. There we go.
Hey!
Down for the second time.
It could be over very soon.
I don't know. You know what? It's the maddest thing. He don't even look hurt. He looks a bit fatigued. I don't know.
He's flustered.
He's definitely fatigued.
Definitely
he's
fatigued,
a bit wobbly.
Isn't he? Yeah.
Makhmudov.
To be honest, I think he's actually shocked that Kabayel's come out and put it on him in the third round and the whole of this round, to be fair.
Kabayel.
This is over.
There you go.
It's over.
Fair play, man. Fair play.
So the German wins. Kabayel making a big name for himself, big impression he'll get after this fight. So he goes 19-0.
Massive win.
And he stops a guy that's beaten quite a few decent names. He's beaten Makhmudov, Michael Walish, Carlos Takam, Marius Vak.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's a very good win. There was a lot of noise being made about Makhmudov as well. So for Kabayel to come and get an upset there was real good.
Say that was an upset.
Yeah, 100%.
Interesting. He put his shots together very well, Kabayel.
Nah, it was good, man.
Joe?
I'm all right for now.
Thank you. Cheers. Sorry.
Well, I guess you could say that's the first minor upset of the evening.
Semi-upset of the evening, yeah.
I don't know what you think. Guys, I'm very curious to know what you think. But I don't think we're going to see Joshua against Wilder because I think one, if not both of them, lose tonight. I don't know about both. I don't know about both, but I actually fancy one of them to be beaten.
Which one, if you had to pick out the two, is the more likely to happen?
Very difficult to say, you know, because Joseph Parker.
He looks good at the moment.
He's not an elite heavyweight, in my opinion.
He looks good on the scales. He looks strong.
And he's relaxed. He's very relaxed. And he looks confident. And he can certainly box a hell of a lot better than Wilder. Before he got knocked down, and I was ringside when he got knocked down for the first time in his career against Dillian Whyte, his manager, David Higgins, used to go on and on and on about what a fantastic chin he had, Joseph Parker. And of course, we know that he got beat by Joe Joyce. But then I guess, I don't know what you think. I think that was a lot of fatigue that allowed him to get knocked out.
Well, in that fight with Joe Joyce, he also took a lot of heavy shots from Joe. And he showed that despite getting beaten, he does have a good chin, Joseph Parker. That being said, Deontay Wilder is potentially as hard-hitting as they come. So
how much would you give? How much odds would any of you give to say both those guys lose tonight?
I wouldn't, personally.
That's a big claim.
Honestly, do you want me to be... My honest opinion there is, for them both to lose tonight, they both have to get knocked out.
Oh, do you think so?
Yeah.
You know why? Because everyone wants that fight to happen.
This is happening for Joshua Wilder to happen. So unless Wallin and Parker can knock their opponents out, I can't see them getting a decision over in Saudi, unfortunately. But who knows?
One of them's going to go tonight.
Boxing keeps surprising us, man.
Sorry to.
I got to tell you something quickly, right? So one of the watch-alongs I did was with Barry Jones and Ali Drew. It was Joshua against Usyk 1. I was the only person out of the three of us who said Josh was going to lose.
You know what? It's good that we're having these conversations because when this card first came out, a lot of people were saying how imbalanced all the fights were, how they're all big mismatch because everyone wanted to see Joshua against Wilder, and instead we've got Joshua Wallin and Wilder Parker and Bivol Arthur and all sorts of fights where people thought, why are we seeing this matchup? But now we're having the conversations and saying actually Otto Wallin is good and has a chance, and so does Joseph Parker.
Awkward,
and we've just seen an upset here. So this card is looking a lot better than people first thought in terms of the matchups, would you say?
I think there's some, this is a fascinating evening of boxing. I mean, Daniel Dubois, I think that is a fantastically interesting. I personally don't want to see Jarrell Miller anywhere near a boxing ring. That's my opinion. I don't believe he deserves it. He's been suspended how many times? He doesn't deserve to be in any boxing ring, let alone a high value card as this. Nevertheless, I mean, of course, I'm supporting Daniel Dubois because obviously Don trains him, and if Don's training him, I support Don. Do I think Daniel Dubois? If I'm honest, I do question his heart. I do question. I don't know. I don't think he is the talent that Frank Warren was raving about a few years ago. I just don't see it.
There's a lot on the line for Daniel tonight, isn't there? If he doesn't win against Jarrell Miller, how damaging do you think that is for his career?
I think it could be, especially at this point, with Jarrell Miller being in, I'd say, the shape it is in and stuff like that. For him to lose against him now at this point of his career, that would be tough. It'd be tough to bounce back from. But Daniel's had it tough, man. He's been in there with some elite operators as well. He had a tough fight against Usyk. I think he was doing well in that fight until obviously he got stopped. But I think it's a big mental thing for Daniel. I think as long as he can conquer them demons, what he's got going on in his head, I think he's still got the talent. I think he has still got the talent, but I think he's just got to tune into it a little bit more. So who knows, maybe the link up with Don. I'm seeing a different side to Daniel that I've not really seen before, to be fair, since this new link up with Don Charles. So who knows, maybe he's bringing him out of himself a little bit more, and that could transfer into the ring. But who knows, man? Who knows?
I'm interested to know also.
He's got the attributes to do it. Especially this evening, if you're going to isolate that Miller fight this evening. Yeah. He's got the length, he's got the height, he's got the reach, he's got the power.
Well, there's no difference.
But like you say, has he got the mindset to deliver? Because really, Daniel should be keeping him at the end of that jab. Can he do that though? Consistently, round after round, does he have the focus to do that?
Look,
there were some rumours that going around that he doesn't really have that focus. He loses concentration.
You know as well as I do, our main man Jordan against Opetaia a few weeks ago, I would, and I tell you, it's easier said than done. I would love to have seen Jordan use his reach a lot more in that fight and keep peppering out that jab on non-stop. Easier said than done against.
I'm sure you can ask him when he comes back.
I will. And but these things are always easier. It's easier, it's like a friend of mine always quotes his dad. He says, "Is it easy to criticize somebody who's dancing when you're on the side of the dance floor?" So,
of course, but here, obviously, we're here to give our opinion. So, obviously, if that's your opinion, that's your opinion.
But what do you think then? Are you guys going with Daniel Dubois to win tonight?
I think
that's quite hard. I think it's a really hard one to pick because Darryl hasn't been very active, so we don't really know what shape he's in. Daniel, I think he's super talented, but again, as you mentioned, it's about his head, it's about his confidence, and we've seen him falter there so many times. I think Daniel has the talent to win, but it's a question of whether he executes in the ring, and we've seen him fall short too many times. And is Don Charles the guy to get his head right?
I'll ask Jordan. I mean, Jordan knows Don very well. He trained under Don.
Talking about the mental side, and I definitely want to, while we have a little bit of break before the next fight, talk about Opetaia in a second. But just to finish up on Daniel, the mental side is what seems to be holding him back. And we've seen that from him a couple of times with him taking the knee and all sorts. Is Don Charles the guy to get that right?
I think he could be the guy. I think he could well be, to be fair. Don works very closely with his fighters. He likes engaging in that, a very close relationship with his fighters. So I think that could benefit someone like Daniel. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know him personally, so I don't want to be seen to be passing comment or passing judgment on him. But I do think Don Charles, the link up there, could be very beneficial to him as a person, as an individual. More so as a fighter, I think he's already the fighter. He's going to be, obviously, Donald had his little touches and stuff like that. But as a person and as an individual.
Press conference and the way, I think was it the weigh-in when Jarrell shoved
I like
Daniel? Right. How do you think that will affect the way this fight starts?
I don't think that will affect Dan. I think Daniel's probably already forgot about that. I don't think he's that fussed about stuff like that. But I like just the little outburst that Daniel's been coming with in the little comments here and there. Like,
trying,
that's different.
isn't he?
Yeah, he's trying. And we've not seen that from
comments.
him as well. So yeah, the daddy comments, the American accent. It's all crazy.
Yeah.
What about physically though, Ali? You obviously very knowledgeable on the physical side. You've seen the way Don trains his fighters.
Yeah.
How do you think physically Danny Dubois is? Because I don't know. During that fight against Usyk, in the latter rounds, he did look jaded.
Yeah, but was that down to was that a factor because obviously he knocked him down? And in his mind, he's probably thought, well, I've already done what I've had to do. I've hit him on the belt, and he's mentally switched off again. So it may have nothing to do with the fitness of the guy. It's his mental state.
Let's have a little chat about Opetaia while we have a few minutes till the next fight. So 2.5 months ago, you fought Jai for the world title, IBF world title.
Yeah.
How's the recovery going? Reflections on that fight at this point?
Yeah, reflecting, man. Listen, it's one of the minutes you got to take the risks in boxing. It comes with it, but it was a tough one to take. A few little things to sort out now, a few little setbacks, a couple of injuries I've got to sort out, but in a good space, like, overall in a good space, keen to get back in there. I think the most frustrating thing for me at the minute is just a couple of injuries and not being able to get straight back to it. Because anyone who knows me knows I'm very, very keen to get straight back to it and go and put the wrong right. So it's one of them things, man. It's just one of them things where it's when I get back to it, people will know. You know, there's not really much more to say on that. But
I mean, it's your first world title fight.
Yeah, for sure.
Most likely the first of many. It's going to have been a massive learning experience for you. A taste of that level that drives you for more. What are the biggest takeaways from it?
Listen, there's a lot to be learned from what I went through, to be fair. A lot to be learned inside the ring and outside the ring, honestly. And some of those things we're working on already. Some of those things are to be worked on next year. But, you know, I'm trying to say overall, though, I'm in a very good place and keen just to, again, it's just action. I want to take action. It's just frustrating right now not being able to take action. So we'll see, man. We're doing as much as we can behind closed doors, but just keen for 2024 and a big year. Okay,
let's talk about Jaya, because he looked amazing tonight, didn't he? What were your thoughts watching that and seeing Ellis Soro go down in one round? Yeah,
honestly, I felt sorry for Ellis Soro, to be fair. He's a lot better than that. I know he's got bags more talent than he was able to show tonight. But again, Jai's a special fighter, man. He's a quality operator, a special fighter. And again, he just shown a clinical, intense version of himself tonight. So he did well. He did what he had to do and what was expected of him, I think. For Ellis, I just don't think he even had a chance to get into the fight. You know what I'm trying to say? He didn't even make it out the first round to get his footing and get settled, and that's shown, unfortunately. But, you know, he's still early on in his career, man. You know what I'm trying to say? He's limited with experience as well. He'll be back, no doubt. You know, I think he should just take some time now, take a little bit of a backseat, surround himself with some good people and get it back in blood next year. Prior to this fight, would you have thought Ellis might have been a good matchup for you? Yeah, I mean, styles make fights, so I've shared the ring with Ellis before. I know he's a lot better than what people might give him credit for as well. So I was expecting a lot tougher fight than what we saw, to be fair. But again, man, listen, it's boxing. Anything can happen, as we know. Okay. And then on Jaya, I mean, how good is he? What do you think the next months hold for him? He's special, man. He's special. Like, I'd be a fool to sit here and say he's not a special fighter after what happened. But listen, he's a special fighter, man. He's a quality operator, a quality individual. Be interesting to see his career. You know, to say it's an interesting division as well right now. The cruiserweight division, there's a lot going on. And now he's had to relinquish that belt. Now he's going to have to go and get his belt back, which maybe he won't have much of a problem doing. Who knows? Will he get to fight Maris Bradus for that belt again, or how does it work? I have no idea. Or someone else gets to step in now. The business side of boxing, I have no idea. It's complicated. Yeah, big time. But yeah, I'm sure he'll be involved in some big fights. He's got the deal now over in Saudi, so big times ahead for him. Indeed. Jordan, we speak a lot, but I'm curious to know, obviously now we're doing this,
If you were boxing Opetaia tonight, knowing what you know, what would you do different, do you think?
Tonight?
In a hypothetical world, you know what you've done, what it was like going in with him before. If you were facing him tonight, hypothetically speaking, what would you do differently to change the outcome?
He's fighting a different person tonight. I can safely say, I can promise you that.
You know what I mean?
Boy, that can get pretty technical, man. I mean, obviously we've been blessed with hindsight now, but what would you do differently against Opetaia? You just got to be ready mentally and physically, spiritually. You got to be ready because you know what you're getting with someone like Opetaia. You know, it's all about the preparation, how you prepare physically, how you prepare tactically, technically, mentally. So there's a lot of changes. You know, I don't want to go too much into the changes.
One of the things
make,
I noticed is you landed on him. You're known as a big puncher.
Yeah.
And he walked straight forward. Did that unnerve you in any way?
Nah, that was, what round was that in? I watched it back. I think that was round 3. I think that was round 3 to be fair.
Yeah. I
want to say that by that time I'm already in the fight. You know what I'm trying to say? Whatever nerves were there were already there. Whatever nerves weren't there. But I wouldn't have said that unnerved me. Definitely hurt me.
What about peppering the jab? I mean, you've got fantastic reach. Do you think? It's easier said than done. It's very easy for me to sit here and say it. I don't have your bravery to do what you do, but what about peppering the jab like a piston? Nah,
listen. I think there's a load of when I've watched it back. There's a load of things that I would have done better in terms of boxing and tactically and technically. But I think the main thing that I've taken away from it is the mindset that I was in. The mindset's got to be different going into it. I think that's what I can take from it, and that's why you ain't gonna hear no excuses from me. You ain't gonna hear no BS. I think the only thing for me is how can I do better? What could I have done better? How can I do it better? Where can I go better? You know what I'm trying to say? And that's what I'm looking towards. I'm looking towards what's next, not really what's been. But hell of a fighter. You ain't gonna hear nothing else from me in respects to that. But it would be interesting to see where he goes moving forward from here. We'll see.
It's like I said to you, Jordan, didn't I? I said there's no such thing as failure, only feedback.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. I like that's a different one.
It's learning. Huh?
No, that's a fact without a doubt, man.
Well, Ali, you're the trainer, so I mean, what are your thoughts? And do you feel more positive seeing how good Jaya looked tonight to know where your boy's at?
I'll be honest, no, not really, because the
different fights, different nights, different people.
That's correct.
Different styles, man. Yeah.
For me, what I saw there, that's what we analysed, and it was just unfortunate. It just wasn't Jordan's night, but like Jordan said, he'll come again. Simple as that.
That's the thing. I think people get hell bent on excuses and stuff, don't they? I think it's one of them. Like I bent over backwards to make it through that camp, trained my ass off, grafted, didn't cut no corners, like literally bent over backwards to make it through the camp. You know what I'm trying to say? Killed myself and didn't get it right on the night. Fair enough. You know what I'm trying to say? We move forward, and we'll get it back next year without a doubt. So I'm just looking forward, man. I just want to let my hands go again. So we'll see.
What weight, by the way, Jordan? Have you any?
Not cruiserweight.
You're going to stay cruiser, yeah?
Not cruiserweight.
Not.
That's what I can say.
Oh, not cruiserweight.
Not cruiserweight.
Not.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a fact.
For your next fight?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Next fight, yeah.
Okay. How far away do you think your next fight is?
Let's see, like between early to mid next year.
Okay.
As soon as possible. As soon as possible. So yeah, we'll see, man. It's just our systems go towards that.
Well, we're building up to Jarrell Miller, Daniel Dubois. Yeah. What did you make of everything that went on during fight week regarding Jarrell Miller, regarding AJ's comments, Anthony Joshua's comments about Miller should fight White? Ali, what have you made of?
Because I heard those comments. Yeah.
And Jarrell Miller.
Who said that?
AJ said that they should fight each other because obviously they've been caught with a positive drugs test.
That's mad. AJ on top form this week, you know, man.
He's done his thing. I think with regards to Miller and Dillian Whyte, it would be a solid fight. I don't know if the fans would want to see that in particular going forwards into 2024. But obviously, Dillian Whyte has to sort out what he needs to sort out behind the scenes before we can even mention Baby Miller.
Yeah.
And him in the same conversation. To be honest, I think that was AJ just a little bit of tongue in cheek. To be fair.
Yeah, a little bit of sarcasm there. Predictions for Miller, Dubois. Who do you think?
I'm quietly confident now. I'm gonna go with Dubois actually.
Yeah.
To start with, I mean, obviously Miller's very good. He's got fast hands. He lets his hands go. He hasn't fought for 2 years. So, is it 2 years, Jay, or a little bit more? He hasn't been in the ring, inactive, so that could play a part. Miller, yeah.
God, it looks like it's been God knows how long, but
he's 3. Yeah. But we're about to find out. I think obviously Dubois, can he, like Keith was talking about earlier, his mental state, we keep talking about it on the panel here today, mentality. So
it'd be a real shame. It would be a real shame for Daniel if he doesn't come through tonight, wouldn't it, in terms of his career trajectory?
Oh, it'll be a massive knock. It'll be a massive knock in his career.
It'll be tough to bounce back.
He's had a few big losses already, and he can't afford another one now.
Yeah. He's young, you know.
He's young.
He's only lost it. Let's be real. He's only lost it in elite level as well. Like Joe Joyce was when he was the prime of his career.
Yeah, Usyk's Usyk.
You're talking about Joe Joyce like he's in past his prime?
Yeah, no, he's just old. So
he's 36, 37
about a year older than when that fight happened.
You're not wrong. But yeah, like it's tough, man. I think he'll be fine tonight though against Miller. I think he'll be fine tonight, Dubois.
Stars make fights, as we were saying earlier.
He's not going to be that hard to hit, is he, Miller?
No,
he'll be there.
Real. So he's not going to be hard to find and get
target area.
Yeah, so someone that hits as hard as Dubois, I think it should be.
Yeah, and he really hurt Usyk.
Yeah, he did.
Whether it was a low blow or not, Usyk was on the floor in pain.
So no, it'll be interesting.
I don't pull my punches, and I've got to tell you what I hope for. I hope Daniel Dubois flattens him. Because of my feelings towards the guy even being on the card, So Daniel, let's see you do it tonight.
Daniel, the Brits are rooting for you. Come on.
He's a slight
Brits have got to back the Brits. That's a fact.
He's a slight favourite. I mean, if we're being honest, it depends how Miller starts the fight. Will be very intriguing to see. Is he going to press forward? Is he going to use his feet to come forward and shut the distance down? Or is Dubois going to start with a positive mentality behind the jab and then work from there? Bank the early rounds if he can, and then make Miller chase. And then he can maybe knock him out with a right hand over the top.
Yeah, and Daniel's stamina's been called into question as well, though. So you wouldn't expect this to go.
I mean, on the scales, he looked good. I mean, again, when the bell goes, it's totally different, right? You can look like an Adonis on the scales, but if you can't perform in the ring, then
that's gonna.
I look good on the scales.
Always do, Jay.
I look banging on the scales.
But you normally,
to be fair,
you backed out 15 out of 16 times, mate. So,
interestingly enough, obviously Otto Wallin, I think Don brought in Otto Wallin as a sparring partner for Derek Chisora when they were about to fight Tyson Fury.
Oh,
yeah, he was over here sparring. I think Derek Chisora. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's going to be an interesting one. Like I said, I think one of them is going to go
south.
I think one of them's going to go against the grain and that fight.
Well, I think Otto Wallin looks very confident. He knows that he's on the up at the moment. I mean, he just beat Gassiev and he was the underdog there. He knows how well he did against Fury 3 years ago or 4 years ago, whenever it was. And I think Otto Wallin, he looks relaxed. He's smiling. He looks quietly confident.
Yeah, this is the thing. He looks very.
You know
very
what
assured.
though? It's interesting. A year ago, was it a year ago when Tyson Fury fought Derek Chisora for the third time that no one was interested in watching? And
interesting.
Frank Warren, who I like, I like Frank Warren.
I enjoyed that night.
he always said, he kept saying, "Well, what do you want us to do? No, we've got no one to fight." Well, I tell you, one guy who would have fought him is Otto Wallin in a rematch, and I doubt that they fancied having him taking him on again. That's my personal hunch. I don't know what you guys think.
It was an interesting. I mean, there was this Fury, the first Fury Wallin fight. I think a lot of people look into that and say, I think that's where Wallin's getting a lot of his ratings from. But if we look at that fight again, I think the main thing that made that fight so competitive was the massive cut that Fury got.
Yeah.
Right.
And we got to think as well, Fury wasn't long back from his little setback that he had, his big setback that he had. So how many fights was that after the
comeback? What happened was he fought Dillian White, I think, in April, May, and then he fought Chisora in December. I think, yeah.
No, I think Jordan was referring to
It was in the middle of his Wilder trilogy. It was in the middle of the trilogy.
Well, it was very.
I just don't think Wallin's going to pose as much of a threat as some people think. To be fair, I think Joshua's going to get him out of there pretty quick. It's going to be pretty explosive. I'm hoping for a very explosive performance from AJ, to be fair. He looks like he's in that sort of demeanour right now this week.
Yeah,
from what I can see, yeah. So we'll see, man. Should be exciting, though, to be fair.
I know you guys are probably all AJ fans, and I've got to be honest with you again, and I'm always like to say how I see it, and I think AJ's the luckiest boxer, athlete there is.
Unluckiest in what way?
Luckiest.
Oh, luckiest, I was going to say.
Because he won an Olympic gold medal when he didn't even deserve to get past the first round. He lost the final. Everyone knows he lost the final, but it was in London. So he won an Olympic gold medal. Okay, good luck to him. You know, can't take it away from him. But he was very lucky to win that Olympic gold medal. He got a world title fight in his 16th fight.
Yeah.
Okay. And Jordan, I'm sure you'd have liked to have had a world title fight, and you had in your 16th fight against someone as an opponent as poor as AJ had in his world title fight. With all due respect, okay.
Oh God.
Am I right or am I wrong?
I can't argue with that.
Yeah, exactly. So what I'm saying is, look, don't get me wrong. I still don't think the heavyweight division is that great. There's not one heavyweight out there who I think, wow. I know people talk about Fury, best of his generation. He's fought Wilder 3 times, and he's fought Chisora 3 times. Who's he fought? No one. He got knocked down by a novice in his last fight. With all due respect, okay. So don't tell me about Tyson Fury being best. He thinks he's the best of all time. Lennox Lewis would have flattened him within 5 rounds, 100%.
Did you watch along for my fight? Oh no, you was at my fight.
No, I was there.
I was going to go back to the watch along. Like, what was Keith saying about me?
Jordan, you know as well as I do. I supported you, and I was there to support you, mate. So don't worry about that. And what I tell you is how I feel. I'm not the sort of guy who holds back or tells lies or to butter you up. Okay, but with all due respect, Tyson Fury hasn't fought anyone. Okay, all right, he's beaten Deontay Wilder, who can punch, but he can't box. With all due respect, he's beaten Derek Chisora 3 times. Whoopee, no disrespect again. Okay. Who's out there that's that great? Usyk, no disrespect to Usyk. Yes, he's a good boxer, but is he a proper heavyweight? I don't think we've seen a great heavyweight era since the Lennox Lewis era, and Lennox Lewis would have demolished them all. Unquestionably.
Lennox was special.
Did you? Sorry, I was half listening to this AJ interview. Did you say Tyson Fury can't box?
No, I didn't say that. Tyson Fury is a spoiler. He can box. He's a very good boxer. I question the fact that he's been knocked down how many times. He got knocked down by a cruiserweight earlier on in his career. And yes, he gets up. Full credit to the guy. Listen, I can't take anything away from the guy. He's been a very good champion. I just don't think the hype is warranted because he hasn't fought anyone.
Well, if you can only fight what's in front of you, right? He's in an era.
We're in an era.
He's in an era. He's the era that he's in, right?
In this sport, you can't fight what's in front of you.
That's the thing.
Invariably, you don't fight what's in front of you. He hasn't fought Joshua yet. He hasn't fought. I don't know some of the other.
Is that more down to Keith? Is that more down to the
Frank Sanchez?
Is that more the politics of boxing?
Well, there you have it. So you don't fight in front of you. It's not like the sport that me and Jordan love so much, tennis. You're facing. If you want to be the best, you have to beat the best.
Yeah, but but this is the thing with tennis though, is you got the beauty of if you take an L this week, you back out next week for the next tournament. You know what I'm saying? Boxing now we're in an era of you've got to have your you can't lose. If you lose, you're in that like forgotten kind of section where I think no fighter is really afraid of losing. No fighter wants to lose, but no fighter is really afraid of losing. I think it's more so the thought of, all right, what's next after a loss? You know what I'm trying to say? I don't think fighters are really scared to lose. Like any fighter will fight any fighter. Like in the AJ Joshua in the AJ Fury situation, I don't think either of them are swerving each other. Either. You know what I'm trying to say?
It's just getting the deal done.
It's getting the deal done. There's paperwork. Like this might be the start of AJ Fury getting made. To be fair, with Fury and with Eddie and Frank Warren.
All coming
being
together
in the same room and becoming more comfortable with each other. Who knows? It could be a big thing for boxing. To be fair, this event.
I think one thing that has happened, which maybe gives the impression of ducking, but it's not effectively ducking, is I think some of the boxers know, and Fury in particular, he knows when he's fit and when he's not. You know, he's talked about, obviously we know his mental health issues and his weight issues and all the rest of it. And I think there have been times where he's maybe needed a bit more time, a bit more training camp, and pushed certain dates back or rushed. Like the Anthony Joshua deal, the first time when it was coming around about a year and a half ago, it seemed very, very rushed. And I think some of Fury's pushing the timings of things has made it look like he's ducking, but I think it's just him knowing when he's in his best shape and when he wants to fight and when he doesn't.
Do they say, though, Joe and Ali, you know about this, do they say that a fighter, and with all due respect to Fury, there's no secret that his weight goes up and down, and at times, I mean, you saw the state he was when he was about to face Klitschko for the second time, which didn't happen, and he put on all that weight. Does that have an effect on you and your boxing career the later it goes, fitness-wise?
That question.
I would say yes.
Well, there you have it.
What, ballooning up
and down, Jay.
I mean, without a doubt, man. Without a doubt.
It gets
As we
harder
get
as you get
older.
older.
As we get older,
Generally, it's harder to
everything gets harder. Yeah,
lose
everything
weight,
gets
right?
harder. Yeah, big time. Your body starts to slow down when you get older and stuff like that. So it becomes harder to shed the weight. I think Fury, man. I don't know. Is that not why we all love it? Fury.
He's special.
Fury can literally. He's been getting away with whatever he wants to get away with, though, because he's no matter what. When it's come time to deliver, he's always delivered. He's always delivered. He's always shown up when it's been time to show up. So I think for me, Fury is he's a fight night fighter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like when the bright lights are on, that's when Fury comes out of himself.
And what do you think happened in the Ngannou fight, whereby he didn't look that great?
It is what it is, man. You see the
Do you think he
Ngannou
was
fight?
unfit? Do you think
I don't think it's a big thing. Me personally, I don't think it's a big thing. I just think you fighting Ngannou, you fighting someone you can't do any homework on him. You've never seen him in a boxing ring before. You've never seen him throw hands before. He's no idiot. Like everyone's saying, he's a novice. Go jump in the ring with this guy and show me about a novice. The guy. Have you seen the size of the guy? You know what I'm trying to say? If he throws his hands at you and
he's a world champion in combat sport,
it's a problem.
It's going to be interesting to see where he goes next, isn't it?
He could have banked some big fights in Ngannou. To be fair, he could have. They were talking about AJ. This is the thing, because it's
what does he have to offer?
This is what I'm saying.
With all due respect, though, Jordan, would you, if you were going to have a tennis match with the world table tennis champion, you'd smash him at the end of the day?
True.
It's no disrespect. Of course, he's an expert at combat.
Yeah.
But it's his type of combat.
Of course.
Maybe he overlooked it. Maybe he overlooked it. Maybe he overlooked it. You know what I'm trying to say? Maybe didn't give him as much respect as he was due, but. Even that though, he got hit with a big punch. He still got up. He won the fight again. Yeah. Like he gets up, he wins the fight. He's a winner at the end of the day, Tyson. So you can't knock him, man. And again, what he's overcome, special guy, man. I think we all just want to see AJ and Fury in that ring together, don't we?
So we're seeing AJ Klitschko, the old AJ.
Crazy night.
How different do you think AJ is now from AJ then?
It's tough, man. It's tough. You know what? It's crazy because. If you'd have asked me this a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, I might have had a completely different answer. But I think being a boxer and going through nothing the same, but similar stuff to him, it's more understandable for me now. You know what I'm trying to say, as an individual. So my thoughts have kind of changed on it. I just want to see him back winning and looking good out there, to be fair. Because, AJ, man, he's done a lot for the sport. You can't really fault him there.
And what do you think of his year so far? Because this is the 3rd fight of the year, which is a lot for him.
That's good, that, yeah.
Steve Bunce was saying that he actually thinks it's been a great year for AJ, because in the first fight against Franklin, he got to try out some different strategies. He fought longer. It was about stamina as well, trying out different approaches. And then in the second fight against Hellenius, obviously, he got that knockout. So a culmination of the two, Steve Bunce was saying he thought looked really strong for AJ in terms of development this year. I think that,
activity is key. Activity is key for fighters. So I think that was a beautiful knockout, to be fair. He was patient in that fight. That was the Hellenius fight, wasn't it? Even in that fight, he had to overcome. Even being in the ring, I know as a fighter, you should be locked into what's going on in the ring, but I got no doubt that he would have probably seen people leaving the arena and stuff like that. You know, I should say the fans were booing, but again, like he come through with a very special knockout later on in the fight. But
and also knowing that Deontay Wilder knocked Hellenius out in one, that plays on your mind too.
It does, man. Fighters are lying and saying, "No, I'm not thinking about that." You are thinking about it.
Yeah,
cut the BS. You want to look better than your oppositions out there, but. Styles make fights. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that in boxing. But at the end of the day, though, people would have been weighing up the two after the fight. I mean, like, oh, wow, they got him out of there in 1. AJ took 7. It is what it is, man. We'll see when them two get in the ring
together. Still got the win, knocked him out.
Yeah.
And then you could, even if you look down the resumes, then we can sort of speak about when they've both fought Brazil. AJ knocked out Molina before Wilder. So it's all swings and roundabouts, right?
The interesting thing is also is that everyone talks about AJ's mindset. Now, I completely disagreed with Spencer Oliver, because Spencer Oliver always used to say, AJ's like a sponge. He wants to learn from you. He asks you questions and stuff. No. If you've got to ask a million different people their opinions, it means you don't rate your own opinion. Okay? Did you hear that one?
That. Sorry.
I'm saying, like I said, Spencer Oliver is always saying, oh, AJ is like a sponge. He asks everyone questions. And I say, if you need to ask a million different people their opinions, it means you don't really know your own opinion. So that is the first question mark I have over his mindset. And then, and Jordan, you may be able to answer this because you've had a few different trainers.
Yeah, it's not good.
He's gone from Rob McCracken. He went then to I forget who he went to then after that.
Who's it? Angel.
Who's that?
Okay.
Angel.
Then he went to Derek James, and now he's with Ben Davidson. I mean, can you teach an old dog new tricks? AJ's what, 34, 35?
I'm a big believer in Ben Davidson, though, and what
he is.
Ben Davidson and what he's done for so many fighters now. So
proven.
that is something that makes me think very positively about what we're going to see from AJ tonight with Ben in his corner.
That's true. I mean,
and
Ben
was obviously there for the Wallin fight.
That's it. True. I mean, yeah, Ben Davidson, he's proven, man. He's proven what he's done. He's turned a lot of fighters' careers around as well. It's not like he's really been handed talent all the time. He's turned fighters' careers around. Like, look what he's done with Lee Wood is unbelievable, man. Unbelievable what he's done with Lee Wood. So, special trainer, man. It'd be good to see interesting to see the link up between the two of them. To be fair,
but do you know what I'm saying? I can understand why people like Carl Froch questions AJ's mindset.
With all the trainers saying, listen, it's tough. I'll be the first to tell you that it opens the door for a lot of confusion and like cross cords and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, everyone's different. You know what I'm trying to say? So AJ might handle that with no problem. We'll soon find out. Some people it might prove difficult for, but we'll see, man. He would have obviously had a reason for doing what he's done, but we'll see, man. We'll see if it works out for the best.
I've just had a text.
Frampton here, saying that he thinks it's the end of the road for AJ if he doesn't win tonight.
Who's saying that? Carl Frampton?
Oh, yeah. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, well, I'd say he'd be going down a level after that because obviously he's trying to stay at world level. He wants to fight. He said he wants to be a three-time world champion. If he loses tonight to Wallin, then you're looking at European and domestic level. And does AJ really want to do that?
He also said he thinks it's the end of the road for Joseph Parker. I don't know if I agree with that one, though.
Nah.
I think Joseph Parker's got more to give.
Joseph Parker, he's still young. Joseph Parker's young. He's a lot younger than people think as well, Joseph Parker.
He's 31?
And because he's been in the sport for so long, like you just said there, Jay, everyone thinks,
he's been to the pinnacle of the sport already. He's been a heavyweight world champion, you know what I'm trying to say, at a very young age, so it'd be interesting.
To be fair, I think Joe Parker could do
an upset.
Potentially.
It's one of
those, you've got to keep that focus.
Yeah, it's hard to know where Deontay's at because he seems very different these days, doesn't he, since the last Tyson Fury fight.
The footwork.
I think where Deontay Wilder's at is if he hits you with his right hand,
you're gone.
Sleep.
Facts.
And he's always going to be there. I don't think there's literally... I think the only way for him is he could be a better boxer. So maybe the link up with Malik Scott is maybe he's been improving on his skills. So if he comes out and he's got even more of a skill set,
it's even more of a problem
for him.
I'm going to find it hard to watch that Parker Wilder fight because I really like both of those guys.
Joseph Parker's such a nice guy, isn't he?
Parker, very, very nice.
Such an unassuming guy.
Such a nice guy, and I've interviewed Deontay, and he's such a nice guy as well. I just don't want to see either of them get knocked out.
It's quite interesting.
I can only see that fight ending in a knockout. That fight's not going points.
Which one's that?
Wilder Parker.
I'm going to be really sad for whichever one loses that fight. I tell you.
If that goes to points, blimey.
I'll tell you what's going to end up in an early win. Dimitri Bivol. I can't give Lyndon Arthur a much chance against Dimitri Bivol, can you?
I think that's the big... me personally, genuinely, not saying this because I'm at 0-1-6-1 and that, but that for me is the big upset of the card.
Really? You really think
maybe he might not beat him. Maybe not, but I think he's going to do a whole lot better than a lot of people are giving him a shout.
He will have been spurred on by how well Anthony Yarde has done in his couple of world title fights. And even though Anthony didn't win those fights, as you said, how good he looked.
A very good account of himself, though.
And he'll be wanting to do the same.
I just think styles make fights, like... It depends what Bivol comes out as well, but, I think Bivol's a bit more of a boxer. Lyndon's a very, 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 very good boxer with a world-class jab. And I think Bivol's going to give him a little bit more space than maybe Yarde did in that fight where he just walked in the
second one. That was amazing. The rematch. The rematch fight, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With Yard and Arthur.
Yard
really,
he came out
he did an
just so
exceptional
fast.
job. I
Yeah,
think.
It made the
he
adjustments.
came out really aggressive. Yeah.
I think he deserves this opportunity.
Who?
I mean, Linden.
No, without a doubt,
sure.
man. Like,
He's worked hard.
he's bounced back from
He's
a
worked
loss
really hard.
against Yard.
Do you think he
headlining,
deserves it? I mean, he
so-
kind of got crushed in that Anthony Yard fight, the second one.
But then you could say he won the first one, and he won it. In my opinion, I thought he won that by 3-4 rounds. So
and then
it's
he
1-1.
bounced back after the loss. He's had a good couple wins, tough fights as well, but he's come through him. And now he's found himself in an unbelievable position. So hopefully he can just go out there and just make the most of it
What
and
do
enjoy
you
it.
make of the light heavyweight division, guys? Because there's a lot of British talent. I mean, obviously you've got Josh Bratsy who's going to fight Dan Aziz. You've still got obviously Lyndon Arthur, Callum Smith. You've got obviously Ben Whittaker coming through. Another guy who I think has got a good career ahead of him is Ezra Taylor.
Ezra Taylor's talented. Light heavyweight division's
It's
booming,
special.
to be fair, right now.
Yeah, we've got
I
Callum
think
Smith fighting
as in the division
Beterbiev.
around the world, it
division.
is a special
That'll
division.
be that's soon that fight.
Yeah, Callum Smith fighting Beterbiev in January, right?
I
But
believe so.
Serbiev is fighting Smith, yeah?
Yeah,
January, I think.
that's going to be a shootout.
I thought that the Anthony Yard did very
Frank
well
Warren.
against Beterbiev, but he runs out of puff, doesn't he, Yard? Anthony Yard runs out of puff. It may be because he's very muscle bound.
I mean,
And that
definitely
sometimes
because
doesn't
he's
help.
muscle bound. Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it definitely doesn't help. That's just science. You know, it's tough. But I think with the style that he fights, it's tough as well. You know, he's very
explosive.
he's very explosive. You know, it's power shots with Yard. There's not much you can change. That's just his body. You can't change your body type. You can't escape your body type.
It's a bit like AJ.
It's not even like he obviously
Small
trains.
version.
He trains and puts the work in, but it's just your body type. Yeah, there's no escaping it.
I'll be back.
But it's a common theme, obviously, with that, since we've been on air. It's we're talking about mindset a lot. So a lot of it's to do with mindset.
At the elite
mentality.
level of boxing, though, the majority of the time, it is mindset which separates the elite from the level just below. Everyone can box to a certain degree at this level. Everyone knows how to fight. Everyone's got decent power. You know what I'm trying to say? Everyone's got their pluses and their minuses. But I think what separates the elite from the very good is the mindset. You know what I'm trying to say? I think that's it has a big part to play.
Very important.
For sure.
So, for example, like, sorry to cut you,
No, go on.
we were talking about obviously Dubois and his chances against Miller. He's coming up next. It does come down to his mindset because he's got the attributes to win convincingly against Miller, in my opinion. He's got a good jab, got a big, nice, strong, long overhand right
What do
to
you think of
keep him
his
away.
defense?
It could be better. He can be stiff at times, but again, these are the things that you got to be working on with your coach, right? To move forward and improve. So
How does though? I mean,
£330.
that's unbelievable.
So scary.
He's 100 pounds heavier.
who do you remember?
Miller.
Then Daniel.
Then Daniel,
Again,
have you seen Daniel Dubois in person?
Exactly,
What?
he's a big boy.
That's mad.
But again, the way Miller's going to fight, he's looking to come forward. He'll absorb the shots. He'll take one to give two. He'll take two to give 3 or 4.
That's cheeky, that.
Paul,
Sorry.
what you-
Terrible.
What did he weigh in
What,
at?
to the
He
body
will
or to the
literally
head?
absorb his shots.
He will literally be.
Mad.
So Miller,
Miller, oh.
absorb Dubois shots.
What did he weigh in at? Miller?
330
333
pounds.
Mental.
Wow.
How much is that in stone?
That's too many stones, man.
Too much.
That's
But again,
that's
so
rocks.
I
That's
think
not even stones.
if we're going back in time,
man.
when he was going to fight AJ Miller, he was around 300 pounds.
Yeah,
So
that's
I don't
why
know where
AJ
this
put,
extra
put the
30
weight on,
pounds
didn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
Because that's
And
the
then
heaviest
obviously
he's
that
ever
then
weighed in, wasn't it,
affected
for the
him
Ruiz
for
fight?
the Ruiz fight.
AJ. That's the heaviest AJ's
Correct.
ever weighed, isn't it? For the Ruiz.
I think he was, what was he, around 270, 280 for that. So, again, stars make fights. Mindset, very important.
How important do you think the start is going to be in this fight with Miller and Dubois?
Very.
Very
Because
important.
I think Dubois really, honestly speaking, he has to get behind that jab, as I said earlier, and nick the rounds early, and then let Miller, dishearten Miller, break him down. Exactly, 23 stones.
23 and a half stone he weighs.
AJ? Miller, 23 and a half stones right now.
23 and a half
stone.
stone. Yeah.
Wow.
That's more like Butterbean.
It's like a truck. Yeah, that's right, but I mean,
That's a lot of weight. It's heavy. It's heavy. I know that. That is for sure.
but yeah,
Fair play.
the attributes are there. Can he deliver? Obviously, we're still waiting for them to make their ring walks this evening, but
I have to say, I'm pleased to be doing this with you guys. And You know, I know that if I was at home watching it, I'd probably be getting a bit of grief from the wife, who'd probably want to watch some chick flick on Netflix. So I'm quite pleased to be here. You know.
I mean, what do you think of that?
Yeah.
I think for me, that's on the belt.
We're seeing Daniel's potentially.
I think he made a meal of it there.
That's a clean. That's a clean. For me, that's a clean shot.
Yeah, you see, I do question that. I think he lost heart.
No, yeah.
Was that a clear knockout? Was he going to knock him out there? I don't know.
It's difficult to say if the boxer's lost heart or not. I don't know.
And
Jay, like, you're in the ring. What do you think?
Dunno,
like,
man.
just in general, not Dubois.
I don't know. It's tough, isn't it? It's tough.
And it would have been disheartening after Usyk's on the floor for 5 minutes and
100%.
gets allowed to carry on.
That's what I'm talking about. The
that
mindset.
would knock you mentally, and he's already not the strongest mentally.
Exactly. And then to see that, what's going on in front of him.
Like, you've almost got your world title,
and I mean,
and then it's been disallowed, and he's in Poland.
Was
as
that a bit of a
well.
red herring, though? I mean,
What's
do you think it was a low blow, all of you?
me, no.
If you're a Usyk fan, it was low. If you're a Dubois fan, it was on
Do you
the
think
belt.
if the fight had been outside of Poland, it could have been a different result?
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe. Yeah, politics come into it. Maybe
He'd have got up,
maybe.
wouldn't he?
I need to go.
would have
Usyk
got up.
would he have? I don't
Would he?
know.
I
No
don't
one
think
knows. You know
so.
what
I
I'm
think that
trying
was
to
a
say? Who knows?
genuine. Keith, I genuinely believe that was a clean body
It's a
shot,
big
right
shot.
on the
It
button.
was a big shot.
They were training
It was
for
a
that.
big shot
They
that
said
he
they
got
were
hit
training
with.
for that shot. He landed it. He's then mentally gone. He's standing there. He's probably got cold. Mentally, as we've been speaking about, he's not the strongest before he starts the fight. So during the fight, if that happens, he's thinking, "Oh, I've won." He's probably switched off, and he's thinking, "What's going on?" There are clips of him actually looking into his corner, and he's going, "What's happening? What's happening? Why is this? Why am I getting points off? Why is this?"
He didn't really know where he was, did he?
He didn't know, and he was baffled. And again, that maybe comes down to Keith, his lack of experience at that level and not staying switched on.
Do you think, though, and I don't know, but you know, obviously Fury's a hugely tall guy, 6'9". Is it harder? Again, Jordan, you'd know about this. Is it harder to hit a guy who's smaller with a body shot?
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
So
Without a doubt. You're just leaving yourself.
That's going to be hard for
vulnerable,
Fury
aren't you?
then in this fight to aim for the body.
Fury.
Mm.
Dubois
In
Miller.
February.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, against Usyk.
Against Usyk.
Oh, okay, because they were showing pictures of Usyk just now.
Yeah, true. I don't know, man. The Fury Usyk fight's interesting.
In
I'll be
terms
honest
of-
with you.
yeah.
Sorry, Stuart. I think Fury wins that fight. By the way,
Yeah,
I think Fury beats
Without a
Usyk.
doubt.
Yeah.
He'll
I think
drown him.
especially after what we saw with Usyk against Dubois.
He'll drown him.
I think Fury was quick to want to get that fight made after he saw Usyk on the floor.
Yeah, no,
But
100%.
in terms of seeing, Dubois' power and what he did against Usyk, as you mentioned, Jarrell Miller is about twice the size of Usyk. We know how strong Daniel is, but do you think he could get disheartened tonight if Jarrell absorbs all his big heavy shots?
Not if he sticks to the game plan. Game plan should be stay behind your jab, win every round 10-9, and if the knockout comes, it comes. Just simple as that.
There we go.
For me.
I just had a text,
Big
by the way.
baby.
Every baby
Every
needs a
baby
daddy.
has his dad.
A Swedish friend of mine who Jordan knows.
Oh, there we go.
So
What's happening?
Lars Graf, who's umpired a couple of Wimbledon
Yeah.
finals, just texted me. Obviously, he's supporting Otto Wallin because he's Swedish, right? But he thinks Joshua will win. There you go.
I think so. I
Can't
think
see
so.
Joshua losing. No way. And I think every Wilder fight has the element of, he could outbox Wilder, but if he gets hit, he's going to sleep.
Facts.
I think it's literally.
That's
I
every
think
fight,
Joshua beats Wilder.
Hey?
I think if Joshua and Wilder do fight, I fancy Joshua.
Really? Wow.
And I know a lot of people fancy Wilder. I just think Joshua is
I think we'll know a lot more
what is
after
a better
tonight.
boxer.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I think it's
Yeah.
quite hard to tell right now,
True.
but
You're
ask
not
me in a
wrong
couple
there,
of hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Keith's right. I think Joshua is a better boxer than Wilder. But can he stay away from... Does he have the foot speed to stay away from Deontay Wilder's right hand? That is the key. That's why I give Joseph Parker a little bit more of a chance than I'd say the mainstream media.
Yeah.
Because of his foot speed. But again, does he have the mentality? We're speaking about him, he's a really nice guy. Does he have that mean streak in him?
23 stone 11.
Go
I mean, that's
forward and
ridiculous.
push Deontay Wilder back. Was 20, yeah.
It's got to be a
23-11.
record, that, isn't it?
26 years old, Daniel. We've got the tape up here against 35 years old for Jarrell. But I think this is career defining for both of them, despite the age difference.
Agreed.
Similar height. Daniel a tiny bit taller. and then the weight difference.
Yeah,
I think that's the biggest difference. the weight
difference, and also I'd say obviously
age as well,
resume. Dubois wins that. He's fought the higher caliber of opponents. Miller had his shot. I mean, if you look at Miller's record, I don't think he's fought.
He really fought, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
So he was about to fight AJ, and we all know what happened there.
Yeah, but the people that Daniels fought who were top draw, he's lost to, isn't he?
Yeah. Yes, but then is Miller of that same ilk? No, he's not. He's not an Usyk. No. He's not a Joe Joyce. So
I mean, with all due respect to Joe Joyce, everyone was before he lost to
Zhang.
Zhilei Zhang, yeah. Before he lost to Zhilei Zhang twice. I mean, yeah, everyone was saying, I think Joe Joyce is this,
how
that,
good he
and the
looked
other.
against Joseph Parker. That was the defining fight for Joe Joyce.
Absolutely.
You know, Joseph Parker has such a good resume, and then Joe Joyce just destroyed him. And we've never seen Joe Parker.
He's got a good resume, Joe, but again, Joseph Parker, all the best fighters he's fought to, he's lost to. He's lost to Dillian White, he's lost to AJ, he lost to Joe Joyce. Those are his 3 defeats.
Here we go. The ring walks.
Here we go. The ring walks are starting.
Finally, some ring walks. Long time between each fight.
Indeed.
He managed to find a gown that was big enough for him. I don't have any.
The first 3 or 4 fights, they didn't last too long.
Vinny.
I think Jarrell Miller probably have quite a fun ring walk.
Here
we go.
There's Frank Smith and Frank Warren talking in the background.
Well, that's interesting because Frank Smith is constantly
you know what? That's
Frank
probably
Warren, isn't he?
That's probably the best thing that's come out of this. Obviously, Saudi putting on this massive card and also 2 massive promotions working together that we probably wouldn't have seen or thought that would happen.
Well, look,
5, 6 years ago, not even that, a year ago, to be fair.
The problem with boxing is that it's so splintered. I mean, you've got a million different titles.
Yeah.
Right. No one knows anything. I mean, if I was to get a professional boxing license tomorrow, I could probably fight for the ABC Intercontinental title tomorrow. I mean, there's so many different titles. It's ridiculous.
Make sure you leave a tennis racket at home, Keith, if you're going to do that.
No, but it's true though, isn't it? And that's the trouble with the sport. There's too many splinters. You know, we all like to see an undisputed fight.
Of course.
We all like to see who the best is. That's what the whole point of sport
but
is. You want to see who the best is.
At the same time, they're prize fighters, and they should be getting paid top dollar to do it.
That's true.
And that's the issue. And now Saudi are paying, so.
But all these different organisations, you know, it doesn't help the sport either, does it?
No, it doesn't. But here we go. Miller's walking to the ring.
Well, these earphones don't work, so.
Miller's walk out.
Yeah, mine stopped working.
And what's happened to those gummies?
He looks angry.
He does. He had his head in his knees a minute ago before he started the walk.
But he just converted to Islam as well, didn't he?
Okay.
I saw that announced on social media yesterday. I can see it must have inspired his fight kit.
I'll tell you what else is good, actually, on a political level. I'm not into this whole Saudi sports washing thing. They're doing it with football, they're doing it with tennis, they're doing it with golf, they're doing it with boxing. But is it a good thing you've got, for example, Jarrell Miller, who's an Orthodox Jewish guy in Saudi? Previously, they weren't even allowed to step foot in Saudi. That's a good thing. You know, so if elite sport, in bringing elite sport to Saudi, is going to help bring people together, I think that's a good thing.
Well, the big fights are getting made as well now.
That's right.
I agree with that.
It's promoting unity across the world right now, because you got Eddie and Frank Warren sat at the same table. I'm doing the same interview. Money talks, man.
And the same with the big fights. If you're talking about anyone ducking anyone, this is it. If the Saudis come along and say, we'll put that fight here, you're going to go do it.
It's a fight.
It was.
Mine doesn't work either.
Dubois making his way to the ring.
Oh, does he look like a deer in the headlights to you?
No, he looks focused.
It's funny, I was thinking that.
Let's see how
I was thinking he looks nervous. But again,
it's good to be nervous.
It's not good. It's good to be nervous, but
it was.
I think every fighter gets nervous before they fight. If they say they're not, they're lying. I think
is that, Vinny?
Different fighters handle it a bit differently, maybe.
Jordan, before you fought Opetaia, you were super confident.
It's a real must.
Obviously, I took that because they like Henry Ford says, whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you're right. Okay. Now, you were very confident.
We'll let Vinny do that.
Okay. When you walked into the ring, was there any doubts? How does it work? I mean, it's interesting to know what goes through your mind. I
can only speak for myself, but I'm still confident. Was confident. You know what I'm trying to say. I'll back myself regardless. You know what I'm trying to say, before and after anything that goes on. I think every fighter handles it different. Every fighter will go through different sort of situations, maybe different sort of rituals and stuff like that they'll go to. But you're on your own. I think on the ring, I think you just realise, listen, you're on your own, you're getting into a fight, and it's that time now. You know what I'm trying to say? Maybe some people enjoy the ring walk, some people might not enjoy the ring walk. Me personally, I just know it's an exciting time, innit? Because you're about to finally fight. All the graft's been put in, and now it's time to go out there.
But you can see some fighters. I never forget, I always thought he was going to win, but when it's Lennox Lewis fought Mike Tyson's ring walk, I said do you know Gary Innes? You probably know him. He used to be a Adonis gym. So I said to Gary, I was watching a fight with, I said, Tyson's not going to win this. He don't even believe he can win it. Just on his ring walk. Interesting. You can often see that, can't you?
Yeah, you can see energy. Energy doesn't lie. Energy doesn't lie, and you can pick up on that.
I'm nervous for Daniel here.
I think Daniel's nervous for Daniel, but I think that's a good thing. You know, nerves can be good depending on how they handle. So we'll see. I think the start's important. Like I think Ali mentioned before, he's got to establish his jab very early and then just work behind that. We'll see how Miller stands up to his power.
Yeah.
Mr. Cristiano Ronaldo in the building.
And his excellency. I think he's saying His Excellency is sitting next to Cristiano. It showed the names.
Have you seen the tags on the seat? I think his name on the seat is he. I thought that was sick.
His Excellency, yeah, he.
Oh, really? Is that what it was?
It's him, boy. He's really him.
He is him.
He's really him. Hey, Gerard Miller, he's on a horror movie right now. What's up with him?
Yeah, but he does that all the time, doesn't he?
Oh, does he actually?
Yeah.
I've not really watched Gerard Miller operate before, I'll be honest.
I think so.
Go on, Don, man. Tell him, Don. I'm happy, I'm happy to see Don Charles.
I'm happy to see him there.
That's actually, I'm gassed to see Don Charles out there in Saudi right now, to be fair. So I hope, I really do hope.
I hope for his sake.
Daniel gets the I hope Daniel gets the job. I hope Daniel gets the job done anyway, but even more so to see Don and Ian in that ring, man. That's good. Yeah. And Tony's there as well, isn't it? Tony Pearl, go on, man.
I've done the post-fight interviews for most of Daniel's career up until the last fight.
Yeah.
And so when you've seen someone come through since day one, you want to see them do well.
Yeah, it's right though.
Follow them on the journey.
Who's the ring announcer for this?
It's the same.
He does TNT, right?
Yeah. I should know his name.
Is it?
Yeah, begins with T.
No way, fair play. no Diamante. Mad.
I mean, it's a bit of a paradox, really. I mean, being an elite heavyweight and calling yourself Big Baby. I mean, it's hardly the most intimidating nickname, is it? Let's face it, Big Baby. I mean, he should sort of stick to his nickname and come out with a big giant nappy or something, shouldn't he?
I think you got another big baby in America as well now, aren't you? Jared Anderson.
Of course, that's right.
His ring walks are always
half decent as well.
Yeah, he can box, man. He can fight.
He looks out of condition, Jerome Miller.
He looks out of condition.
Keith, so was Andy Ruiz, supposedly.
I think he needs to employ you, Ali, honestly.
Jerome Miller looks out of condition. Hey, yo. Hey, that's wild.
I think I can see Daniel winning this just because I really feel like he has to win this.
He has to, man.
He really has to. He has to prove himself after what happened against Usyk.
I think so. I think for the most part, he's got to prove it to himself, for himself. You know what I'm trying to say? He looks. This is
also he's been getting
the most expressive I've ever seen someone like that. This mad.
This fight and the last fight are huge opportunities that he didn't necessarily have to get. I mean, he lost against Joe Joyce. He got that WBA regular belt.
Yeah.
from beating, I can't remember the name right now, but someone not so strong. And then suddenly he's fighting Usyk, and now here he is in Saudi.
This is the thing, man.
Like he's gotten lucky with these opportunities, and so now he has to win one if he's going to keep getting these big mega fights.
True. They're not going to keep coming around, that's for sure. Especially in the heavyweight division. But you never know. But then again, though, the heavyweight division is booming.
Come on,
now,
Daniel.
So maybe.
Well,
I think the first round would tell a lot on how he's thinking.
There you go. Right hand over the top through the guard.
That's it.
Oh,
That's
Miller's
nice.
so ploddy, isn't he?
I think so. It's just all about if Miller can endure the punishment that Daniel's dishing out, and if he can and takes him into the second half of the fight, I think that's when it will start to get interesting. But for the first 4-6 rounds, I think you're just going to see Dubois pinging and just tagging.
Now I can see why Miller calls himself Big Baby. You can see it now, can't you? It's like one of those sumo babies.
It's mad. He's very compact, very compact. Don't really offer a lot of openings, Miller, does he? He's very, very compact.
See, one thing I don't like about Danny Dubois, I find him a little bit flat-footed for me. He looks awkward dancing around.
He looks like he's moving well right now.
He's moving better than I've seen him.
This is the best I've seen in his feet, to be fair. I can't lie. Good body shots as well, to be fair. He's working the body well early on. Maybe he's trying to slow Miller down.
You can see Daniel going to the body a lot already, trying to.
But it's like we said earlier. Miller's just going to come forward. You're not going to be that big, that heavy, and not want to come forward. That's his tactic.
I think Dubois got to be careful that he doesn't
punch himself
continue to just work when he doesn't want to work, because that will make you tired. He's letting Miller's just going to walk him down, and he's just going to keep on trying to get Daniel to open up. And I think maybe after a couple of rounds, a few rounds, maybe you start seeing Miller trying to counter Daniel. But it'd be interesting though. But
I find with Daniel as the rounds go on, I'm always
loading up a bit too much
that he's
too early.
Run out of puff, you know.
Yeah, and that's basically what Jordan's saying.
Yeah, just needs to touch him up a bit more. You know, what I'm honest.
Oh, here we go. Talking about a low blow potentially there.
Yeah. Why is getting
come on, Daniel.
No. Thank you.
You just waste.
Yeah, this is the thing. Even getting into the clinches with someone like Miller, to keep him off you in the clinches, it's just going to be too draining. It's going to be way too draining. I think Dubois got to get Miller to open up, because you ain't going to punch as heavy-handed as Dubois is. You ain't punching through that guard, not this early on.
That's
what I'm trying to say. So I think he needs to maybe try and get Miller to open up a little bit and go with him.
Do you know what, Jordan? I mean, I do a bit of emceeing on the small amateur. I do amateur shows and small professional shows, and I've got to tell you, particularly at amateur level, I always say to the trainers, these boxers at amateur level do not jab or punch to the body. They don't do it. I've seen so many amateur boxers. All right, they may not be the elite amateur boxers, but I don't see them going to the body. It's all head.
I think boxing's changed a lot.
Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And one of the.
I mean, you got to think though. I think that the main reason for that though was that I'm sure they never used to score body shots in amateurs.
Really?
They never used to score body shots in amateurs. I'm sure that's something that's not.
But
not
even in the pro ranks, I don't see enough jabbing to the body. I don't see enough.
But you got to think there's not as. This is the thing. Like, judges don't look at body work like that, so there's not as much emphasis on it for a fighter. Judges don't. You look at when Andre Ward beat Kovalev. I think that was in the rematch. Everyone was screaming robbery. I was like, no, not if you're scoring body work. That weren't a robbery.
Why wouldn't you score?
But this is the thing: the vast majority of people in boxing, they don't really not score it, but they don't give it enough respect. You know what I'm trying to say? There's not that much of an emphasis on it for the boxing judges. Maybe they're not going to really look at body work as if to say someone pinging someone's head off.
I have to admit, I find that very strange.
I do as well.
It's true, though. It's true.
You're supposed to. It's a target to hit.
And not only that, Ali. I mean, there are so few boxers I see these days. They've just got two punches to their army: the left jab and the right cross. How many of them? I mean, I think a classic example is Jordan a few fights ago when you stopped that guy with a peach of an uppercut. That is a peach of a shot. and it's such an effective shot. I mean, Lennox Lewis, how many opponents do you knock out with that uppercut?
Yeah.
Wicked uppercut.
If uppercut, it's a very underrated shot.
Very
It's a shot
underrated.
that, you don't see it.
We just saw Daniel go for one, but he didn't quite. He went straight through Miller's
With
arms.
someone walking down with the high guard like that, I think the uppercut is a very, very good shot to go for. I think that's one of the few openings that you're going to create, because he's a tough man to hit clean by the looks of it. Not tough to hit, but he's tough to hit clean.
I think technically
very
as well,
tight.
Jordan. I mean, again, my sort of technical knowledge in terms of throwing punches is in Taekwondo. However, I've followed boxing all my life, and one of the technically very good and very strong punchers was Mike Tyson. And the reason is Tyson had very big legs, and he used his legs to generate his punching power. And with an uppercut, you're coming from the legs and you're coming upwards. I think I don't know what the pounds per square inch is, but I would say an uppercut is a more powerful shot than a normal hook.
I can make that make sense. But then again, I can also say as well, because this is what baffles me and including everyone else. They say power comes from the legs, and you got Deontay Wilder walking around with near to no legs, and he's arguably the most powerful.
It doesn't really matter.
That's a stiff jab. That's
Jordan, you know it from tennis.
But I get what you're saying
tennis,
about the
some of the most skinny people have got brilliant, very powerful serves because their technique and they're hitting on the sweet spot. What I'm saying with an uppercut, all your power comes from your legs, right? Whereas when you're hitting a hook, it mostly comes from the hips, which is obviously very important. But with the legs and the hips, you've got that double whammy. It gives you that extra power.
How do you think Daniel's looking, Ali?
I think he's started really well, to be honest. I think he won the first round. He won the first round, and I think he's on top in the second as well. Putting his combinations together behind the jab.
Yeah, he looks in control of himself.
It's
not
like
saying in control of...
everyone's saying is just want to make sure that he doesn't gas out doesn't throw too many too early.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't think he looks like he's over stretching right now.
I don't like the way Daniel holds his hands.
When we say that, I think we're talking about just keep it simple in terms of the combinations.
He's working.
The overhand right. Baby's pushing him back now. Oh goodness me!
You got to think all Miller's done for the first couple of rounds.
Oh,
Miller's having a. Oh.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Dubois still won that round.
You know what, Ali? Though I don't know if you know the way Daniel sometimes holds himself, his stance. Again, he's also a little bit square. I find his hands down.
Because he's got very big shoulders, so he's very stiff in that area. He's not as supple as other fighters. I mean, Joshua holds his hands quite.
Yeah, but if you're square, you've got more to hit.
He's quite muscle bound around that.
On.
Of course, but he's quite muscle bound. So he's, as you say, he looks like he's square on, which he is. It's because he's very broad and very stiff. He can't get his arms. He boxes like this. He can't do that.
Yeah.
So that's again, it's a genetic. It's lifting too many weights, you could say. That's what causes that.
I hear you. You know better than me on that. I see Deontay Wilder turned up in his pajamas and dressing gown.
There's some good exchanges there, though. To be fair, later on in that round.
Yeah,
there was exchanges where they just traded in the center of the ring. To be fair, and they both did pretty well. No one really got hurt.
Miller came back with a few.
It's got to be harder to knock down.
At least.
I think so. I think Daniel's throwing is exerting himself a little bit too much. Ooh. I just think Miller's just walking him down, and he's forcing Daniel to throw. I don't think Daniel's throwing off his own accord here.
That's correct. No,
I don't like for someone.
You think he's throwing quantity, not quality?
Yeah.
Come on, Daniel.
Lovely right hook over the top.
Shot. Very good shot. You're picking him apart here, though. And again,
just back on the jab. Back on that jab. There we go.
Good jab. Stiff jab as well, to be fair.
Do you think this could go? No, I wouldn't. Do you think it could go the distance?
Well, it's 10 rounds, so
yeah, it's
I'd be very I don't know, man.
I think one of them would get.
Someone's
got
to go.
Nice check hook there by Dubois.
We know a lot more after the first half of the fight. I think it'll start to take a lot more shape from them.
Get your hands up, Daniel. He holds his hands a bit low, doesn't he, at times?
Sometimes. That eye again.
I'd be interested to know what kind of sparring partners Daniel had, because I mean, you'd have to bring in people like heavy, like Jarrell Miller, no?
Yeah, true. There's not many.
You need to get
bodybuilders. You get the bodybuilders in.
You just have to think you just try and emulate it as best as you can, won't you?
Nice.
We could end up being a very good scrap list, to be fair. Especially if they both start to slow down and end up in the centre of the ring.
And start swinging on hooks.
Yeah, this is the thing, man. They might just give us a little exciting one.
Just got to start moving his head a bit more.
Who's that?
Again, see, look at his guard. Don't. It's too low for me.
Yeah, he's just got to be careful here as well. That Miller doesn't become accustomed to his power as well, because that won't be good. He's in control though. He's winning the fight, Dubois though. He's winning the fight. He's looking good. Just talking more long term.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm thinking ahead.
Arsenal were top of the league for the most of the season. They didn't win the league, but they're top of the league.
You remind him. Remind Ali.
Why are we talking about that? We're here to watch boxing.
Arsenal.
No, but I'm just using the analogy.
That was a good left.
You know what I mean?
Right hand, left hook over the top by Dubois.
I'm just saying the analogy of winning as opposed to one.
Of course, I'm joking.
Dubois still working the body well, to be fair. Still working the body really well. Miller's a lot more active now, though.
He's got to start getting that head off the line, Jay.
He's caught him with three decent jabs there, hasn't he?
Yep, that's a better slip. He slipped that jab there.
Keep your hands up.
That's it. Ooh, overhand right by Miller. Just missed.
That was low.
That was low. That was right.
That was very low.
That was very low.
Oh, that was very low. Yeah, from
Good
Daniel.
step back.
You said, since they're going to call him low, I might as well go low.
Why not?
That's what Dubois
So
said.
low that it wouldn't even hurt.
Yeah.
It was like on his knee.
Literally.
Jordan, when you're holding your guard,
Who won that round?
Dubois won the round.
That's
Do you give Dubois every round so
I'd
far?
give Dubois every round so
3-0.
far. He's in control. But Miller is definitely looking like he's coming
Miller
back
won
into
that
the
round.
fight.
No.
He's coming back into it.
Look how many.
It was
how many
close. The
jabs
round
he
was
caught him
close.
with?
The round, no, but that was at the end of the round. Are we scoring the last 30 seconds or the whole round?
It's getting more competitive.
Yeah.
But Dubois, for now, he's in control. But
There you go
Miller's
there.
getting more
Overhand.
confident, man. Miller's not really looked affected by any of the shots that Daniel's landed, though, does it? Has he?
He looks tired though, Miller.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would have expected that.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't look like he's going to crash to the floor from any of those shots, but maybe as he tires later.
Yeah, true. Fatigue might set in, to be fair. I think this is going to be the most amount of power. This is when his power is going to be at its most dangerous for Dubois in these early rounds. So if he's walked through these, then we'll see.
That's better, Daniel. That's better.
Ooh, yeah, Miller calling him. Oh, we talking.
I mean, also, if
This is where he's. This is where he's
This is
got
where
to
it's going to
keep.
get interesting because
Is the mental state.
mindset.
Daniel looks very aggressive as he's come out in round 4.
He might draw Daniel out.
top.
Who's that?
Dubois.
Dubois.
Why doesn't he go over the top?
He can. He's got to gauge that distance, though,
That's
right?
a shot. It's a shot
I
that
think
he'll be
that
training.
he has to. He could line up that shot. I think.
It's a shot. No, it's a shot.
Especially
Why doesn't he go for
that's
that
a beautiful stiff
Huh?
jab.
Why
that.
doesn't he go for that
Stop
shot? Or why
Miller.
does he?
We should use that shot.
Oh, we should
more.
use. I was about to say no because I know that's a shot that Don trains.
No, I'm saying. Why doesn't he use that over?
He should. To be fair. I can't lie. He's shooting, boy. He might throw it.
It's because he's the way Miller fights. That's very difficult to get it off.
It's been
for
I'll tell you
Dubois.
what, it's been a pretty good work
Yeah.
rate for two guys of this size, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Daniel looks really, really fit though.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks
He's threw a lot of punches this fight.
low in terms of body fat, Daniel.
Yeah. No, he's in
Halfway
good shape.
through the
man. He's
fourth.
in good shape. I do think Big Baby Min is making him look like he's in better shape than he is though right now.
True.
He's making him,
He's very
he's making him
flat-footed.
look real good right now, Miller.
He's a real life boxing bag.
It's mad.
Well, I don't want to say
Anyway.
anything, but you tend to wonder how he can get through a fight with carrying that weight. To be honest,
I mean, he's 30 pounds.
Fair play to him,
over
man.
what he
Fair
would
play
be.
to him. In that condition doing his thing though.
Yep,
Do you have
it's not easy.
a preferred round when a fight's going steady? Like I see a lot of fights ending round 4. Do you have a preferred round that mentally you're like, or is this just fight to fight that you feel about?
So
2.
Miller
You like to
with
just
the
go
left hook
easy,
over the
feel
top.
them out in 1 and then
Yeah.
go for it in 2.
And then go for it in 2. Yeah, man. I like
Dubois
that.
needs to get back on that jab.
That first round's important.
Oh, he's caught with 2-3 left hooks there, Dubois.
Uh-oh.
There
Come
they
on,
go, the
Daniel.
trading. Stay
Hands.
hands tight,
Keith,
boy.
where's his hands, mate?
Tie him up, man. Look shaky here.
Where's his hands? He's pushed Miller back on. Well, Miller's back into the middle of the ring now.
See, the thing is as well is he'd be
Pulled
fatigued
out,
now
man.
though because he's exerted himself a lot.
And
I'm telling you, he's exerted
been
himself
boxing
a
on the
lot.
back foot, and that's not easy, right?
He's been dancing and moving like he's a middleweight. You can't.
Correct.
You can't do
Inefficient.
that. Yeah, you can't do that.
But the problem is with someone like Miller, he's obviously looks very durable, massive guy.
His chin's ridiculous.
You have to throw something, otherwise he's gonna push you back onto the ropes.
Miller, Ali, he's more of a flyweight.
This is the thing. He needs
Good uppercut there, no effect on Miller.
His slipping punches.
Solid.
And that's what we said before. Is it going to be demoralising for Daniel when his big power shots just get absorbed?
Is that an even round or is that a round to Miller?
I think he might have been prepared for that. They wouldn't have been under any illusion that Gerald Miller is known to have a good chin. He's known to be durable. You know what I'm saying? He's known to bring that pressure. So they should have been prepped for that. They should have been privy to that, and hopefully they've been prepared for it. So we'll see, man. And
that's why they wanted Miller for AJ for his American debut, right? For those reasons what Jordan just said.
Yeah. Do you think AJ would have beat Miller if the fight would have
back then? I think so.
I think so. Yeah? I would think so.
For sure.
Interesting.
AJ is.
He would have knocked him out late.
Yeah.
He's a good puncher, and he finishes fights well, doesn't he? AJ.
Very good finisher.
But again, it's fine lines, right? He
took a good shot there, though. Dubois. He took a very good shot.
Give Miller that round, so that's 3-1.
Yeah, I'd give Miller that round. Miller come on strong that round, to be fair. To be fair, Dubois' defense has not looked half bad, to be fair, in this fight, I'll be honest.
Well, if his hands are not going to go up, as Keith
said, even here, though, he's punching
too same as us.
He's punching too much.
TNT have got it the same as us.
Unless he's trying to get him out of there.
Killian here, isn't it?
It's warming up, mate.
Oh, Daniel is going for it. Round 5.
Don't about him here.
Hey, Jay, don't get greedy.
Don't get greedy. It's true though. Like for me personally, he might just knock him out. You never know. But his punch, he's
over the top.
His output's way too much right now, Dubois.
But what's the alternative? I mean, we're into round 5.
I mean, he's. I mean, for me, it just looks like the power of his punches are all powerful. I think he needs to touch a little bit more. He should feint. You know what I'm trying to say? He should use his feet a little bit more. Like, there's other things that he could be doing to
reserve
keep
the tank.
Miller a little bit busy and occupied without exerting in so much energy.
But at some point, he obviously wants to knock him out. At
some point,
so you just think that should come later when Miller's tired?
I think so.
Good body
later
shot by Dubois, left to the body.
Maybe.
So you think he's trying too early?
Too early. I think he's being forced to throw punches instead of, like I said before, like he's not punching on his own terms right now.
And this is mostly because of Miller's size.
Because of Miller's size and just the style of fighting which Miller's forcing on him, to be fair, which he's just giving him a target. Look. This is
he needs to hold on. Dubois needs to hold on.
No, he's tired though.
I've got to tell you something, and I hope I'm wrong.
He's just been non-stop punching for a minute, so he's going to be tired now. How many stone is this guy? 18.5 stone.
330 pounds.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Just a bit. Just a little bit of weight.
That's it. Keep the jab going.
That's more than the supers.
He's a lot more comfortable in the pocket, to be fair, Dubois, right now. It looks like it.
So what tend to be the favourite shots that Don likes to instill in a boxer then, Jordan?
Don?
Yeah, that you've seen in Dubois.
I can't give away too much, but he's a lot. He's one of his main focuses is on your shape, keeping your shape in a fight. It's all about keeping your shape, like having them ground fundamentals, them basics. You know what I'm trying to say? Never lose your shape, which means you got to stay locked in. You know what I'm trying to say? Like physically and mentally as well. To be fair,
how does he differ? I know you can't give much away, but it's a Tony Sims.
How does Don differ to Tony Sims? Do you know what? They're both pretty. They're not that much of it. They're similar. It's similar, to be fair. Like the old school trainers, you know what I'm trying to say? Like the style of fighting which they would have come up in and around are quite similar, to be fair. It's like similar combinations, similar styles of fighting, very aggressive. They're going for the knockout. They want a knockout. But both good trainers, man. Both good trainers.
What about strategy?
Strategy.
10 seconds left.
Maybe a little bit different.
Miller's jab getting Daniel a few times.
It's another close round. I'll give it to Dubois.
It's just action-packed. I can't believe it. Like, for two guys who, again, like both of these guys, fitness was questioned before this fight. And during it, they've just been non-stop action, just trading. So, interesting.
But it was a hard fight to predict. So it makes sense that this is the match.
No one really knew where either of them were at, did they?
Has Deontay Wilder come in his pajamas?
We really didn't know where either of them were at right now in terms of their career. I think everyone was admitting the unknown about what Miller was going to say.
Out of bed.
I think that's a gown that one of the sheikhs must have given him.
That's crazy. It's just a lot right now.
Sorry, Jordan, what were you saying about strategy?
Strategy, similar. Say they're both aggressive. Today, I'd say the main difference is the way that they do the fitness, like the early morning sessions and the hard graft that they put in the early mornings at Tony's gym. Like, it's tough, man. And obviously, like the other fighters that you're in and around as well.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a difference. But yeah, man, old school, both pretty.
But I think as a coach, you should adapt to the fighters that's in front of you. To be fair,
Sorry, beg your pardon.
As a coach, you need to be adaptable as well.
Yeah.
To the fighter that you have in front of you. So certain shots that Dubois might throw in a certain way, Jordan might not throw it in that manner.
So you got
he's more athletic, he's more explosive. He may be able to do certain things that Dubois can't.
There. Dubois
Daniel seems to come.
It depends. It varies for me personally.
He comes out strong.
Daniel seems to come out every round strong.
Yeah, it's like his the first minute to minute and a half of the round. Daniel's strong, full of it, and he's letting his hands go. But
and then he's tiring.
As the round goes on, for the last minute, definitely Daniel seems to fade away, and Miller ends up stronger.
Is that the story of the fight so far as well? Because Daniel won the first 4 rounds, it looked like, and now Darryl Miller seems to be coming through.
So it'd be interesting, but
Jab.
I think because of the fatigue and being so heavy and powerful, I do see someone touching the canvas. I'd be surprised. Well, that was a bit mad.
He's got to stop leaning in with his head. That's the 3rd or 4th time he's done that. Dubois.
Leaning in with his head?
He just got a polite warning from the ref.
Yeah, no point deductions for Daniel again. I don't know if he can cope with that.
He doesn't need that.
Look, this is a good bout.
Very good. It's competitive, good competitive.
I mean,
it's not pretty, but it's as you said, Jordan. It's competitive.
Competitive, man. Yeah.
Nice
entertaining in spurts as well. Like there were some good trade-offs in the center of the ring. To be fair,
I did say this could be fight of the night.
It's a blood sport. You know what I'm saying? People are paying to see action, and these two are definitely giving us action right now. So fair play to them both.
Did a part of you wish your fight had been out there? Aside, money aside, I mean, just the whole.
Oh, money aside.
I'm obviously for the money.
I ain't bothered. Money aside, no. I don't care where it is, but for the money, it would have been unbelievable.
But in terms of just the big fanfare around it.
I'd say the fanfare, I mean, the fanfare looks decent, but I mean, you also get that back here in some of the stadiums. But I'd say the one thing that they're doing out there, like the event in itself is spectacular. Like the way that they put on a show out there.
Lasers,
they're doing it different.
Visuals.
Yeah, it's different out there. You know what I'm trying to say? It's special. I think that's why, again, a lot of the sport is going out there. Yeah, the money helps, but as well as that, they're doing something different fighters. Like they're putting on real special shows. So it's interesting. Look at the superstars you got ringside as well. Like it's crazy. Not every day someone can say Cristiano Ronaldo came to watch him fight. So it's special out there.
See, I honestly think that over the top right hand he hasn't used once, Dubois, and I think it would work against. Look at the way he holds his hands, Miller.
But as he throws,
he
falls in.
You see, the thing is, in a fight, though, you can only fight how you train. You can't do something in a fight that you've not trained or you've not drilled or you've not done it repetitively. You know what I'm trying to say? We're human at the end of the day, and
trading.
We're creatures.
Hooks.
Yeah. Who do you think won that round?
That is an interesting.
That was quite
a pretty even round. It's a weird one to score.
He's cleaner shots.
It's a fairly interesting, fairly close
they're
round.
cleaner shots.
Who would you say the home fight? The home fight is obviously Dubois.
Yeah.
Would you say? So he's going to be getting the favours. You'd have to give it Dubois that round then.
No, just in general, Jay. If we're just being neutral, for me, he's 5-1 up.
Yeah.
You might score one round even.
Joseph Parker walking in the
building.
Joseph
Parker could.
He's one of the nicest guys in
Oh
boxing.
No,
Deontay Wilder.
Oh, could retire Wilder. I thought you were going to say if he loses, he should retire.
He'll hold that back.
He looks in a good mindset right now, though. Mr. Parker does.
Yeah, I think also I feel for him a lot because he leaves his wife and his 3 children, his 3 daughters back in New Zealand. Not even New Zealand, it's that island off Samoa. Sorry. and he spends all this time up in Morecambe Bay.
Yeah.
And so you just want to see him getting the results after that sacrifice.
Morecambe Bay is interesting as well.
I've been there
That's
as
a
well.
sacrifice.
I've
That's
been
a sacrifice.
there.
Oh, have you been there?
Yeah,
it's
but to
mad.
leave your kids and your wife for so long and be up in
Morecambe Bay, yeah,
not
I
that there's anything wrong with Morecambe Bay, but you just want to see him get some results after putting that kind of
No,
sacrifice.
he deserves it, man. He's a good guy as well, and he's
Lovely
he's
jab.
made a lot of sacrifices. Good family guy.
Miller back
Do you
to the
think
left hook.
something's not working for him up in Morecambe Bay? Because obviously we've seen him lose.
I don't know.
Since he's been up
I mean,
there.
I doubt it. I just think he's not had long enough there yet. Or with his new trainer, Andy Lee. I mean, Andy Lee's a hell of a trainer, special trainer. He was a special fighter as well. So, and I've seen them work firsthand in person, and I know how good that they do work together. So, I
Him
feel
and Tyson,
like
you mean?
Who's that, Parker?
Yeah, Joseph Parker, with Andy Lee.
He's been there. He's been with him for quite a while now.
Now he has, it's been a little while now. I think now it's been good, but I think he struggled as he just joined with him, and that was a big shot. And I think we'll see a good version of Joseph Parker tonight. He's up against a tough task in getting out of there with Wilder, but we'll see.
I was surprised when he left Kevin Barry, actually.
Last round to Miller.
Last round to Miller.
It's all...
Keep your hand up.
The screaming from Gerald Miller's corner. They're screaming for him to work more.
Yeah.
I think he would if he could.
Lovely uppercut
Dubois
there by
picking him off
Dubois.
here though. Yeah, Dubois looking good this round, to be fair.
He settled back down and got his feet moving again.
There's not really any intent in the shots that Miller's throwing right now, to be fair. He's just like throwing them out there.
All arm shots.
Yeah, just flicking a lot, touching a lot.
Technically all over the place. Heads over the front
But
foot,
again,
falling in.
he's still in the fight and he's still
100%.
walking him down. So
And that's down to his size and durability, right? Like you said earlier. Oh, lovely.
Hey, you hear the sound of that?
Yes.
That felt him. Miller came back with one himself.
Good job.
That's it. Keep it going.
There we go. And then move, change the
There
angle.
we go. Just grab hold of him, get him a headlock. He said, bite.
Oh, goodness me.
Mad.
Keep it going.
That's what we said.
It's good boxing.
TNT is saying it as well.
Real
Keep
good
it
boxing.
simple.
Your movement's good. Utilising his jab very well.
20 seconds left of the
Looking
7th round.
Miller's mouth, so he'll be breathing through his mouth as well, man. He's struggling right now with the pace, to be fair, Miller.
Yeah, he's bleeding.
Dubois still on his toes, in all honesty.
That's
Dubois
good.
looking good right now. Good.
That's what I like to see.
Again.
Fair play.
Staying off the ropes.
He's been a
done
lot
really
more
well with that.
mobile
Good
tonight
rounds.
than against Usyk.
Yeah, Miller looks under pressure. Miller looks under pressure right now.
For me, Miller has to knock him out to win this fight.
Yeah.
Simple as
Knock
that.
Daniel out.
He's sticking to the game plan. His fitness is holding up so far.
Yeah.
Big Baby's taking a nap on the crib. Yeah. Goodness me.
So if you're a football fan out there, obviously Liverpool won, Arsenal won. Arsenal top of the league over Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Exactly.
We were top last year as well, Keith, and look what happened,
actually.
mate.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't mean anything at this stage. Does not mean anything.
Who scored the goals? Who scored the goals?
So Gabriel scored for Arsenal.
What, the defender?
Yeah.
Or the striker?
No, the defender.
Yep.
And Salah scored for Liverpool, you said, didn't you?
Was that what it was? Yeah.
Okay, so we're in round 8.
Round 8 now.
So if Daniel comes out firing again.
Come out, yeah. Follow suit.
Nice jab.
Beautiful
That's
little
nice,
check hook
Daniel.
there. That's nice.
Good left hand work, to be fair.
Oh, yeah.
That's nice
shot to
work.
the body from
Head body
Daniel.
work.
Wow.
Relaxed punch.
That is good. That is good. That is good.
Beautiful.
Again, follow suit. Explosive first.
Miller
minute, again
is
in the round.
starting to gas.
Yeah, no, Miller's gassed, boy.
I think some of his best work has come in the later rounds, actually. Daniel
Yeah?
Dubois.
Yeah.
Fair play.
You think you can do it? 3 rounds left
Just get a stoppage.
to get a stoppage?
What's that?
He could get a stoppage, to be fair. It looks like Miller's out
Oh,
on his feet.
hello.
Oh, a little wobble from
Left
Miller
hook.
there.
Oh.
There we go. Get him. He's going
He's
there.
got him
Get
going.
No, I
He's-
don't think so. I think it
No,
was.
you got him going. He's got him going, Keith.
He went low.
He recovered well.
It was a bit of a.
He's flat. Miller is flat.
I mean, Miller's never been beaten.
Yeah, he's unbeaten, isn't he? He's only got a draw.
26-0. And one
Lovely
draw.
left hook, turn.
Well, again, he don't know how to lose, so you never know. Maybe he might throw the kitchen sink at him in the last couple of rounds. Be interesting.
But again, he hasn't shown anything.
He's been fairly inactive, though. Yeah, well, very inactive.
Very hard, though, when you've got 23.5 stone.
Lucas Brown this year, but...
Blimey, Lucas Brown, eh?
Who hasn't beaten Lucas Brown? I mean...
He's always in good condition as well, isn't he?
It's true. There's workout for you out there, Ali, I'll tell you.
No, I'll pass, thanks.
Who was it who beat Lucas Brown? Was it White Rhino, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah.
On it, yeah.
Left hook in the middle rounds, I believe it was. Percentage of punches landed, 43% Dubois.
Yeah, so he said
to
Dubois
35%.
outlanding Miller with a power punch is definitely...
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, that's for sure. He's still, man, his punch output has not really gone down, to be fair, Dubois. He's kept his work rate up throughout the fight.
He has.
Fair play to him. Because his work rate's been pretty high as well, in all honesty.
Heads again, referee. Here we go. Oh no, to Dubois. He keeps leaning in with his head. He did get a warning earlier.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Dubois getting another warning from the ref.
That's all it is. 35 seconds left for round 8.
He won't likely get another warning though, will he?
To be honest, I don't think it makes a difference, to be fair, Joe.
Okay.
There's another 1-2 again by Dubois. Overhand right that Keith wanted.
Exactly. He did it for me.
Jay, he's done it again. That's twice in 20 seconds, mate.
I can't lie. He's finding the target a lot now, though. I think with the fatigue that's set in, Miller's defense is starting to open up a lot
100%.
more. He's finding a lot more gaps now and stuff like that. So
I think if this was a 12-round fight,
he could,
wow.
On the
bell. Wow. Baby Miller was rocking there.
I would like to hear the commentary. I've got to be honest with you.
You can't hear
My
it?
earphones are not working.
Neither are mine.
You can't hear anything?
But we're good. I'm lucky. I'm sitting next to Joe, so I can hear it through his.
Well, we make our own anyway.
They stopped working. So yeah, again. So that was right on the belt.
It didn't go down though.
There.
See, that's not a low blow. That is on the.
So
on
what's the
button.
difference between that and
not that much difference.
Alexander
It's
Usyk
not much difference. There's only one difference. I think his waistband on Jarrell Miller
is lower.
It's about twice as wide.
Yeah.
that.
I can't see Miller having a second win there.
No, he looks like he's tiring, doesn't he?
Looks like he's finished.
Mr. Thompson, if he does, I'll be shocked. Round 9. Oh, lovely 1-2.
Oh, that's nice.
Lovely punch selection there by Dubois.
This is the start of the round as well, so he's going to be full of
what do you think, Jay?
gas.
Should he put it on him a bit more?
Do if he stops him.
Yeah, after the wobble.
Or just get the win, be safe. He's boxed well. I
can't see Miller coming back with anything dangerous right now, though, so I don't see why you don't just try and get him out of there, but easier said than done as well.
Exactly. Good body work by Dubois.
Winning is everything at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Do you know what?
He's gone in with his head again.
Why is he doing that, though?
Dubois does not need to do this.
He's boxing really well as well. He doesn't need to do that, to be fair.
Oh, there's a lot of head.
Just for the life of him, you don't need a point taken off him. He's in full control in this fight, though. He's boxed a beautiful fight, in all honesty, Dubois.
That's what we said, right? If he can keep the mindset right, stick to the game plan, he wins this fight comfortably.
I mean, we forget he is only 26.
Very true.
Some of the things he gets wrong.
He is still young.
Yeah, he's still learning.
But Hughie Fury had a title shot, didn't he, against Joseph Parker?
He did.
How old was he? 21,
yeah,
22?
No, I mean, obviously there's been young guys, Mike Tyson, again. But I think there's still time for him to mature.
But this is one of these fights where are you going to drop down to the European level or are you going to try to get into that top table and get those big fights? because you could say Miller's like a gatekeeper for Dubois for bigger fights to come. That's all he is. It's a stepping stone.
I'll tell you what would be an interesting fight with Dubois against Joshua.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. I don't know what you guys think, but
Dubois is working well.
Good shot.
Overhand right on the button.
Well, I've got to say, I think Daniel Dubois in the second half of this fight has been better than the first half, and I think that's promising actually, because I thought it would be the other way around.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did though. I thought he was going to start off really well and then fade away, but
yeah,
if anything, he's got better. To be fair, looked like he's warmed into the fight. If anything.
At this point, it looks like it could be Daniel on points, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, 100%.
Jarrell's he's a very proud man as well, Miller. So I can't see him going over easy.
But it would still be Miller's first career loss. So it would still be a good
win. A good win, to be fair. Good name on the record.
Right.
End of the night.
So Miller's Miller's got to stop Dubois to win this now.
Yeah.
What are we in the final round?
10th round now.
I mean, at best, he's won 2 rounds. Miller.
Sorry.
At best, he's won 2 rounds. You can only give him 2 rounds, to be honest.
Yeah, if you're being generous.
Exactly.
Let's see what they have in
and again, Dubois box
in round 10.
Dubois boxed really well, but again, look who he's fighting. He hasn't fought for 2-3 years. He hasn't fought Lucas Brown this year. Very static. So can we read too much?
Leonard only fought once in 5 years before he fought Marvin Hagler.
You can only beat what's in front of you, right? But how much do you take away from it? Because Miller's offered nothing really.
Be interesting to have heard what Miller's corner is saying to him right now, to be fair. Be interesting to hear what Miller's corner is saying to him, to be fair.
You'd expect them to say that he has to get him down.
Yeah. He's going to try and get him out of there.
Lovely uppercut by Dubois.
That was beautiful uppercut.
First 10 seconds of the 10th.
Miller's piling the pressure on, but he's not really throwing anything right now. I think he's going to try and get him tired.
Daniel's doing all right in terms of energy left.
In terms of energy, yeah.
Yeah.
Dubois, he doesn't have to do this.
He doesn't.
He does not need to swing away and trade hooks at this point.
Yeah, he needs to. He's
just pick him off.
He needs to be careful.
Fair play to Dubois, though.
They're both feeling the pace now.
I think you got Daniel's dad screaming at him from the side, telling him to jab. You don't want him to get involved right now. Got the fight won. He's jabbing though, he's listening.
That's been a good performance,
2
actually.
minutes left of this final round.
That's the key.
I think this is, to be honest with you, I put this down as the best performance of Daniel's career.
I think so. But again, Miller's made him...
He's worked the body very well as well, this fight, Dubois. Very, very well.
Lovely uppercut by Dubois there. Overhand right.
Very
great left hook.
Yeah, it was a good left hook from Dubois.
Oh, there's the money.
He's not missed with that uppercut.
He's very hittable, Miller, though, isn't he?
Indeed, he is, yeah. This is why you say, how much can you take out of this? I mean, obviously, this will build on Dubois' confidence without a shadow of a doubt. But it all depends on his next opponent, who they're going to match him up against.
Yep.
You know who Miller fights a bit like? He fights a bit like Derek Chisora.
Who does Miller?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but without the spitefulness, without the volume of punches.
Good shot. Dubois, even this round, though, great uppercut from Dubois. His chin's crazy, though. How's Miller looking at him smiling after that shot? That's nuts. Fair play.
Dubois going for him, 40 seconds left. Backs him up onto the ropes.
I think this has been the best performance of his career.
Of Daniel's career?
He sank that in. Oh, he's hurt. He's hurt. Miller's back onto the ropes.
Oh,
he could knock him out here.
26 seconds.
Go to the body.
Oh, he could get the
He's
stop.
rolling. He's going rocking and rolling.
Got to pile it on now.
Left hook to the head again. Referee.
That would be a big feat. He looks
Finish
like he's
him.
going down.
Referee could stop this.
Referee could jump in here.
5,
He's
6
got 10
punches in a row.
seconds.
Oh,
he stopped him.
beautiful. No, that's tough. That's tough.
11 seconds
Superb.
before the end of the fight.
Wow.
I'm actually
Fair play.
surprised the referee stepped
I'm
in there.
surprised the
Don
referee
Charles and a
stepped in
team
there.
jumping the ring.
Wow,
I'm
he
happy
was
that the
falling all
referee
over
stepped
the
in. Yeah, he was.
ropes.
And he wasn't, at the end of the day, you've got to throw back.
That is
Yep.
You've got to throw back.
that is a huge scout for Daniel.
That's a big
Jarrell
statement.
Miller's first loss and
And a stoppage
obviously
loss.
first stoppage, yeah.
And he's well known for being very durable in his punch resistance. So
Yep.
for
I don't
Dubois
think
to
he'd have
get
gone
a
down, though.
stoppage. Hey?
I think if the referee hadn't stepped in, he would have stood up for another
Without
11
the ropes
seconds.
there, he would have
Yeah,
gone
true.
down.
This is the thing.
Yeah,
The
he
ropes
would
are
have.
keeping
Yeah,
him.
yeah, that is true.
Dubois done well there, man. Fair play. Again, we went into this fight thinking Dubois is going to fade late. He's just got a late stoppage against the guy who walked him down for 10 rounds.
Yep.
So fair play, man.
What do you think about the fact that Dubois is not smiling now? He still looks focused. He looks like...
Maybe it's relief, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot
I
of
like-
pressure on him in this
Relief,
fight.
a lot
I
of
like
pressure,
that
to
in
be
a
fair,
way.
yeah.
It just means that he knows he did the job he came to do, as opposed to being exhilarated at this outcome.
Look, Miller is not an elite heavyweight. Having said that, like I've said before,
You can
I
only
don't
beat
think...
what's in front of you, right?
What's that?
You can only
Nice to
beat what's
see
in front
Don
of you.
Charles there.
Yeah, I can't lie. Seeing
Doing
Don get
well.
and he got the win as well, so I'm even
Yeah.
happier.
I'm very happy
for
To
Don.
be fair, Ian, Tony, Don, you know what I'm saying? Good people.
And the British flag
And the
goes
Brits.
up in the Riyadh
Is
Stadium.
Tony wearing Tony's wearing a hat, right?
Hey?
He's wearing a hat, isn't
Tony's
he?
a cutsman, yeah.
Yeah, I'm delighted about that. Do I think that
Just showing
the
the
referee
replay, yeah.
needed to stop it?
I think so.
Let's have a
I
look.
think that's a
I think it was
solid
the right
stoppage.
decision.
I
I
think.
think
Yeah, I think so.
I
I mean,
mean,
at the end of the day, he wasn't throwing anything back, was he? And I think
No.
that's the one thing that referees look for is some form of punch throwing back, and there was nothing in return from Miller. So
he was just, Jarrell was
just
just
took him
falling
up.
from place to
Yeah,
place all
side
over
to
the
side.
ropes. With
And
the
he's
ropes.
a big guy to
yeah.
be going side to side as well.
Yeah.
So
The last 3 rounds, he really fatigued, really
Yeah.
caught up with him, being out of the ring for that long.
So what do you think this does to both of their careers?
I think Miller stays where, for Miller, he just looks for another
It's for another money fight.
money fight. He talks a good game, but again,
needs the
what's his resume like? Is he going to train properly?
Well, I mean, he's
if he performs like this again against whoever he fights,
26-1 now. Yeah. And then Daniel, what do you think? What do you think this does?
He wouldn't have gone down, Miller.
I think it depends
He
on
would
the,
have
on
stood
the
up
rankings
for the rest of the fight.
and where Daniel sits in the rankings, and then who can maybe fight in the top 15 again. I mean, what is Miller ranked in the top
I wouldn't have thought
15?
so.
I don't think so. So
Well, Frank Warren will be happy.
oh, he'll be buzzing with that.
Yeah.
He'll be buzzing with that.
Daniel's career
Cesaro's
carries
happy.
on.
Cesaro's in the background screaming.
and even if it did go to points, you're looking at again an 8-2. So it was convincing from that point of view.
Did you spar Derek Chisora, Jordan?
Hey?
Did you ever spar Derek Chisora?
Did you ever spar
Derek
Chisora?
Chisora? No, I didn't spar Chisora. Unfortunately not.
Did you spar Dubois?
Not sparred. I will be sparring Dubois, but
Yeah?
I've not sparred him yet. No, not
Is
yet.
that a hint at your weight change?
Yeah. But no, I will be sparring.
No, even at cruiserweight,
someone,
even at cruiserweight, you
If
do
he said he
spar
was going
heavyweights.
one way or the other, so
Yeah,
maybe
no.
not at lightweight.
He might be the
knows?
weights in between now.
Who knows?
Without
Who knows?
announcing all these super cruiserweights and bridgerweights
Oh,
and all
that's true.
sorts.
That's true. What do you think about that? This
He's done really well.
Bridgerweight,
Oh, the Bridgerweight.
super
Yeah,
cruiserweight thing.
intriguing to be fair. They've got my
It's another
attention.
belt.
It's another belt. It's another belt.
Is that where you're going to go, Jordan?
Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. Right. One thing I am doing is I'm going to do what's ever best for me. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's something that I'll be taking into consideration. Things will get weighed up and that. We'll look at the pros and cons.
Who
of each
would
move
you
and then
take advice from?
Hey?
Or is it purely... Who advises you on that? Your trainer, your management,
You got a
yourself?
team, and you got a team that you put in place. Manager, promoter. You can have an advisor. You can have an agent. You can have a close circle around you. Everyone does it differently. You know what I'm trying to say? But
I think it's a good thing, though, Bridgerweight, because I think there is a big gap between cruiser and heavy. And actually,
No, but
I think there needs to be a weight between light heavy and cruiser.
that's what I would have. If I was bringing in a new division, I would have brought
There's a
in a
bigger
weight
gap
division
there.
between light heavyweight and cruiserweight. But I'm not complaining with
That's
the
ridiculous.
heavyweight and cruiserweight.
Because if you're a light heavyweight, you always hit. You know, a lot of boxers out there. Oh, he's a 4-weight world champion.
Yeah.
Well, if you're a light heavyweight, you can't even be a 2-time world.
No.
You can't even be a 2-weight world champion because the gap between light heavy and cruiser is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, to be fair. Yeah. No, you're not wrong. I mean, I am a bit baffled as to why they've not brought in a new division in between the light heavy and cruiserweight. To be fair, that would make more sense. But
yeah, light cruiser or something.
Yeah, something. But we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how much attention these new divisions get as well.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I think that's what
they're very fresh.
It really probably also depends on what fighters move there. I mean, imagine Usyk moves to
this is what I'm saying.
Super cruiserweight, then you're going to get that attention on it.
The fighter makes the belt. That's what they say, don't they? So
and the fight makes the interest.
Yeah, true.
I've got to tell you, there was a cruiserweight. I was emceeing a small boxing a few weeks ago, professional. And there was a cruiserweight. The promoter said, "Yeah, he can go somewhere."
Thomas Triber,
yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to remember his name for last hour. Thomas Triber.
Yes, the
I felt terrible there. You carry on.
No, listen, they're about to announce the result, which we know.
I at least said it began with T.
Sorry?
I at least said it began with T. Thomas Triber, 2 T's.
I forgot what I was going to say. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, so there was a cruiserweight, Jordan. You probably know him. I think he's a Greek guy. He's a Greek guy. He's got enormous thighs.
Is he short with a black ponytail?
I'll get his number. I'll get his name for you in a minute. But he's too small for a cruiserweight. Although he's got massive thighs and he's a powerful guy.
Papa.
He's not gonna make. In my opinion, the promoter said to me, "Watch out for this guy." And I was there with the guy you've probably seen at our gym, who was Southern Area champion, JJ. Do you know JJ?
No.
Jojo Ojaduri. He goes to our gym.
Yeah.
And he was a professional boxer trained by Don.
Sorry, Chris Mannix saying this was the most important fight of your career. Well, second to the world title fight he had last time.
Yeah, true. Come back.
Oh, I know. It's Keith kicking it out. What's happened? Yeah, that's you.
We are sans microphone.
Come on, Keith.
Was that me?
Twice he's kicked that out, Jay. He's kicked out the microphone twice.
Did you get it working?
Vinny.
Come on, Twinkle Toes.
I'm about as technical as I'm.
Daniel always talking about his dad.
Yeah, his dad was screaming still.
Also, it was a difficult fight. I don't have any. There's no length here.
True. I think that's what his dad was screaming at him. Make sure he jabs and keeps him away.
He didn't really answer that question that we wanted.
Definitely didn't.
Chris Mannix asking why did you go for the knockout in the last round when he didn't have to, but Daniel didn't really answer. He just said, "I always go for a knockout." I think he just saw that it was within reach.
That's
right?
the thing. I think he felt it as a fighter,
yeah,
and he just went for it. Yeah, he got that killer instinct about him.
They're all hagging it out.
And now they are best friends again.
Yeah, the best friends.
Well, he said he had 4 weeks' notice and he wants to get in better shape. That's what Miller said.
That's good to hear, though, man. It looks like Daniel's got his confidence back. He's feeling himself a bit more. So it looks like things moving forward. We could be seeing.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see who he fights next year.
It's always seemed like, and I think I already said this earlier, that he has the talent, but it was just the mental side, and that's something that really can improve easily with 100%. Age, with wins.
I think it's a good performance.
With experience.
And we've been speaking about that all night with regards to the mental side of it. So
hopefully that will give him a step in the right direction mentally to really have that belief.
Absolutely.
It's interesting. Obviously, his nickname's Triple D.
See you later.
He's lucky. Is
Are you out?
Are you off? Jordan Thompson's off now. Okay.
Losing Jordan, but
Let me just get something to you.
Go on, Keith. You can do my outro. Man.
Huh?
You're gonna do an outro, Keith.
No, Joe do that.
what do we do?
Outro.
Oh,
For Jordan?
Yeah.
What do we do?
Whatever you want. Whatever you
Well,
want.
Jordan,
Former.
thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, though. Thank you for having me. I
And
enjoyed it.
we'll see you in the ring in a few months' time.
Most definitely. Enjoy the rest of the card.
Former world title challenger.
That's it. No doubt.
Ring Magazine
Thank you.
IBF World. Jay?
Love
Soon.
you.
Yeah,
See you soon.
always. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, Ken, that's all I know.
No, I've no idea.
Hold on a sec.
And I'm sure I'll see you anyway.
Absolutely.
Have a good one, yeah?
Thank you again for taking time out there. Is this Vinny? Yeah. Thank you, man. Yeah. See you guys later.
Hopefully your hand gets better soon. What's they say?
It's in the right place. You've got a bang with left hand anyway, so it'll be sweet. Right, listen, have a good night, yeah?
Yeah, you too. You later, boys. Take care.
Have a good holidays, enjoy Christmas as well.
Have a good one.
Alright, I feel alright. You know it's
No, Joe, just go to the loop. Just go to the loop, okay?
So up next, are we still on it?
I think so.
Up next, we
Live-
have
Live
Bivol
YouTube.
Arthur. It'd be great just to watch Bivol. I mean, he's just amazing to watch.
Yeah, Joe, he's quality
in
fighter.
terms of just watching a skillful fighter.
I think he's probably one of the
best fighters to
pound for
watch,
pound
right?
boxers in the world
Yeah.
right now. Just the way he moves, very smooth. The way
No
he
matter what
transitions
happens in
through
that
the
fight,
phases.
it's going to be nice to watch it.
Yeah. I think Lyndon Arthur could be a good dance partner for him, actually.
Why do you think the styles match?
I think they can, because Lyndon's going to be looking to slip, counter punch, and then Bivol's going to be looking to get behind the jab, a bit like Dubois, and work off of the jab. So that basically means once you've landed that jab, you can then go downstairs or come upstairs, depending on obviously where Lyndon goes will determine what punch you will throw next after that.
Do you think Bivol will cope with Lyndon's jab easily? I mean, Lyndon's
That's
jab
what
is
I'm
tougher.
That's what I'm interested in seeing. To be fair,
I mean, he'll have had time to study him, and
100%. For me, does Lyndon Arthur have the power to keep Dimitri Bivol off for long enough to throw what he needs to throw, change the angle, make Bivol reset? That's the key to that fight. But for me, Bivol's the favourite. I'd say 80-20 Bivol for that fight.
sure.
And potentially mid to late round stoppage as well
A stoppage
for
you think?
Bivol, yeah. Because Lyndon can become a little
How
bit
many
open
stoppages
and
Bivol
loose.
has? Should we shuffle along for you? Or
What's that?
Are we shuffle along? Should we shuffle along a
He's
bit?
got 11 KOs in 21, Bivol. So he's a smart, slick boxer.
Yeah, doesn't get tons of KOs, but
He's a very kind of European style boxer, isn't he?
Yes,
who do you have
that
in
high guard.
who would you have
very
in
fluid.
Bivol Beterbiev?
I think
Bivol.
Bivol slightly just because
Of how he
obviously Keith likes watching boxers that box and move and touch and move and
Yep.
open up their gaps, and that's what Bivol does very well, and he proved that against Canelo.
And do you think also age comes into it with Beterbiev? He's like 38 now, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's very strong, very durable, so styles make fights, right? So he can be very explosive in those first 6-7 rounds.
I think it's an interesting fight, but I think that
what do you think's a more
Bivol's
interesting fight, Bivol Beterbiev or Fury Usyk? What do you think's more of a fight for 2024?
I've got to go with Fury Usyk, to be honest.
Do you think that's like the fight of 2024 for you?
At the moment,
heavyweight.
obviously Joshua Wilder hasn't been announced or anything like that. But
that might not even be for any belts. So
yeah, but again, they're going to be getting paid a hell of a lot of money, and it's a top quality contest.
But Bivol Beterbiev's a really interesting fight, isn't it?
Of course.
Oh, listen,
for sure.
You know, yeah. But having said that, I thought that Anthony Yard had a fair amount of success against Beterbiev.
Yeah, for sure he did. He did, for sure. Yes, you're right, Keith.
I don't know. I think it's an interesting one. Look, I don't know. I don't get that excited over Fury and Usyk, quite frankly.
You think it's too easy for Fury?
Not after what happened in against
Ngannou. That made it more interesting, that Ngannou fight.
And not only that, Joe, I think that there's a part of me that thinks the way Usyk boxes, Fury's a good boxer, but Fury goes very, very much in straight lines.
It'll be complicated for Fury.
Well, Usyk moves around in circles.
It's gonna be challenging.
It's not a foregone
to try and find that target. Yeah.
And I think Usyk, he's a bright. He's intelligent. He's switched on, that guy, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. The angles that he can create, but then Tyson Fury is a type, for a man of his size, I really do believe he can close that gap that Usyk.
Yeah, listen. It's an interesting one,
and he'll smother him. The weight, the size,
but I don't think he'll be able to smother him because I think Usyk will move all the time, and he could tire out Fury because it. All right, you would think it's the other way around.
I don't know. He doesn't like it to the body. Usyk, he's a small heavyweight. I mean, for me, Tyson Fury is the best. Like you were saying earlier, if you're saying this is obviously not as good as the 90s, the era, and the noughts, maybe, he's the best of this generation.
Yeah, you'd have to say that, yeah. But
right?
again,
he beat Klitschko first after 10 years. He's then gone on to do what he's done against Wilder. No one really wanted to fight Wilder. Bit of a bogeyman, don't really want to fight him. Power puncher, go a different route. I mean, I believe in years gone by, Klitschko and Wilder could have had a matchup.
Yeah, I would.
Klitschko went another way.
Klitschko would have beaten Wilder, in my opinion.
But then rumours are that he swerved that fight and went a different route.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's hearsay, right? It's all talk, but we know how boxing works. You build up a fight. I mean, if you'd done Joshua Wilder 3-4 years ago, is it worth the same money now? No, it's not. It's worth more now, I'd say.
No, I don't agree. It's only worth more because of the sudden arrival of the Saudi money.
You think so?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Both have lost a lot of fights in the last few years.
But it's still
they hadn't. So
no, I get that. But the financial gain that they will receive, like you say, obviously Saudi getting involved.
We're just hearing Frank Warren here talking with Daniel Dubois. What do you think's a good next fight for Daniel Dubois?
Joe, it all depends on where Daniel's ranked in the world governing bodies. If he's ranked in the top 10, he should be looking to fight someone who's in and around that.
Getting back into mandatory positions.
Correct. Yeah, for sure. I think
I
would say Daniel needs a couple of more fights before he gets up to that world title belt level.
I'd like to see him fight Joshua.
Lennox Lewis live.
Yeah, Lennox Lewis chiming in.
But again, you say, Keith, you've said that a few times tonight where you said about Joshua versus Dubois. I think that...
Do you think that's a good fight?
I think if that was to happen, maybe 2 years down the line, I think that's quite far away, to be fair. The way Anthony Joshua wants to go, it's more about...
He doesn't get anything out of it, Joshua, does he?
Obviously tonight, we're about to find out if Joshua's still got it. Can he get that third win this year? That'll end up being a solid year for him to regain his confidence. We've spoken about mentality a lot tonight. So let's see if he can do that. Dubois has done what he had to do to get his win. Performed very well. But yeah, I don't think the public are interested in Joshua versus Dubois.
No, and I don't think there's much in it for Joshua, is there?
No. I mean, for me, no disrespect to Dubois. At the moment, he's on. Yes, his stock has risen after that performance, but is he at the top
when
table?
He had the WBA.
That's right, 100%. Spot on.
And Frank was very clever in getting him that belt, that WBA regular belt. So
it's interesting. We'll
find another route for him.
Sorry, I'm interrupting you, Joe. I do apologise because I've got one ear on it. It's interesting what Lennox Lewis was saying. He was kind of saying what we said, that that he came better and he looked good in the later rounds. He actually looked like he could box, and this fight will have brought him a lot of confidence.
Of course, yeah, he needed it as well.
No, 100% for his career.
For him to prove it to himself and to the fans and to Frank.
There's no better guy. I mean, look, for me, Lennox Lewis is the best heavyweight I've seen in my lifetime. So, you listen to a guy like that. This is a guy who could box. This is a guy who could punch. This is a guy who could do everything in the ring, actually.
Oh, absolutely. He's phenomenal.
Yeah, Lennox saying that Jarrell gave him one kind of style and now go for a bigger guy with a different kind of style.
100%. And that's what we said earlier with regards to jab, the right hand over the top. I was actually impressed with Dubois. He was fighting on the back foot and he was getting his body shots off. So he found the space, the half step to get his body work off.
And he was hitting an uppercut on his front, with his lead hand. He caught him a couple of times with that shot. So Lennox is saying that Miller wanted to test his heart.
Yeah, do you think that Dana's heart got tested really in that fight?
Not sure if he thought about it that deeply, but having said that,
I think so.
That's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing because if Daniel Dubois in the past, people have been doubting his heart. Well, this fight has showed it.
He stayed in composure
100%.
Throughout the 10 rounds. He seemed fully composed to me.
And that was the most impressive part, right? For him to keep that composure throughout the fight. And again, that comes down to the mentality. I'm guessing Don Charles and the rest of the team are trying to put that into him, instill that into him, keep that focus for a 3-minute period, switch off for a minute, and then switch back on for 3 minutes.
I'd like to see Danny Dubois, though. He looks a bit square on an open. I know that you said there's.
You're not wrong with that.
But I think that against a real devastating puncher, he'll be in trouble. He has to close up a bit.
Oh, I totally agree with you. You're not wrong there at all, Keith. He's very open. He's there to be hit with the overhand right.
We can just see Otto Wallin arriving into the arena, not for the fight, but to the actual venue. He looks very relaxed. I mean, wow.
He's looked relaxed all week.
He doesn't even look like you wouldn't think he's going into the cauldron, would you?
No, not at all.
Wow. That is unbelievable. I mean, look, my issue with Anthony Joshua, he's been so massively hyped up by Eddie Hearn, Barry Hearn, who have overhyped him to the point of believing that he is better and has been better than he actually really is. Okay. He's had a good career, but he's also been a very lucky boy as well. Yeah, he's taken his chance. Okay. He's had the door open for him and he walked through and he took it. But I think that this week, all this sort of abrasiveness when they've been asking him questions, one-word answers. Is that an act, or is he just? I just can't. I don't understand the guy.
Do you know what? I don't think it's an act. I just think I think he's fed up with all the negativity. that surrounds him, and he's just not.
Yeah, but the
wanting to waste
negativity
energy.
comes from all the completely ridiculous positivity shoved in his face.
Yeah, and well,
He's been so overhyped.
and I don't want to.
I think that's harsh for you to say that he's overhyped.
Well, I think he also was being talkative to some people and not talkative to others because of what has been
because of
said.
certain reasons. Yeah.
Said, I don't want to say anything
Over the
badly
years.
about any individuals that I work with, but because people have made negative comments about him
on certain networks, and now you're working.
yeah, it's networks against networks, promoters against promoters, and so he chose who he wanted to speak to and who he didn't.
Yeah, but if you saw him the other day when I think Darren Barker was there. I can't remember
but that's
the
his
other
network.
guy.
That's DAZN.
Yeah, so Darren Barker was there.
Oh,
Dev
he wasn't.
Sani was from BT.
Yeah,
TNT.
And he was coming out with one-word answers. I just thought, I just can't make it out. I don't
But the thing
understand
is, he's done a
his
lot.
mentality.
He's done the opposite, right, Keith, in the past, where he's maybe done too much media and too much talking before a fight. It wastes energy. It's waste energy.
I think he's putting over a persona that's not him.
He's in a position where he can sell a fight without talking at this present moment in time. And if he wins tonight, that will continue. He can sell Wembley Stadium right now.
I'm sure, yeah.
Doesn't matter who he fights.
He's a celebrity
say.
as much as he's a boxer because of the
Absolutely.
way he's been marketed.
100%. So
And so is Tyson Fury. I mean, he's got a Netflix show.
yeah.
You know.
So, and good luck to them in their careers. I mean, for me, Anthony brought back big time boxing in the UK all those years ago.
We have to see
like
Joshua
you say, after the
against,
Olympics.
we have
Do you know
to
what I
see
like
Joshua
in it
against
too?
Fury at some point.
I agree.
Well, yeah, because it's the fight that the British want to see.
But it's
you know
also
what I
very
like in it
difficult to
too?
make that fight, right? Because what happens if Usyk wins?
I
They
think-
do a rematch, then that's 2024 gone.
Yeah, but I
Looking
think
at
there's so much money
2025
involved
summer.
that I think it'll happen. And now the networks are working together. I think it's more likely to happen. I think we'll see it.
It will happen, but how,
Not if one-
how
not if
long
he
will it
loses
take to
tonight.
happen?
Unless Joshua's not in the shape and doesn't want to.
If he loses tonight,
Yeah, maybe not.
look, I
If he
don't
lose-
agree with you about Joshua.
That's
I
nice
think
opinions,
I
right?
tell you what I liken it to. I used to know people who put on their Facebook thing Team AJ. I don't really know boxing. They reminded me of like these people who during the month of last week in June and first week in July claimed to be tennis fans because Wimbledon's on, when they actually know nothing about the sport.
Yeah.
So that's what I call Joshua fans. All of a sudden, we've got our guy. We've got our guy, Joshua.
Yeah,
you
but
know.
we do that in Britain a lot, don't we?
Right, yeah.
We get behind
It's
someone.
nothing to do with his
Frank
ability.
Bruno
He
before.
was in the right place
Yeah.
at the right time. But I just don't buy it, and I never have. I always thought that if he went up against someone who could box well, he would lose. Even though it was Andy Ruiz, I mean, he lost to Andy Ruiz.
Yeah, but is Andy is Andy Ruiz that bad?
I mean, you think Jarrell Miller's in
I
bad
think
condition?
Andy
Andy Ruiz even worse.
I think Andy Ruiz beats Jarrell Miller. Then and now. I think he's a level above Miller. Is he in the top 4 heavyweights in the world? No.
Has he fought in the last few years? Once,
But again,
twice?
his mental state. I mean, it's well documented that he's had issues with depression and so on and so forth. Andy Ruiz. So again, it's the people that you have around you. Can they give you that support, that strength to continue?
We
from
will
fight
see.
to
We'll
fight?
see what's going on tonight. I mean, Otto Wallin is a
For
southpaw.
example, if AJ loses tonight, you can still make Fury AJ.
Yes, you can.
This is the thing.
If AJ wants. Yeah.
And I'm sure he will. Why? Because of the money. They're prize fighters. It's their living.
If he lost tonight,
That's the bottom line.
I think it'd be very difficult for him to go anywhere. Really.
Yeah, I think, again, for me, after the Ruiz fight, I think mentally he has suffered. He's taken a hit. Because like you say, if he has those Team AJ fans around and he's been blown up,
The bubble burst.
and then the bubble bursts, then you're going to feel that ego being damaged, etc.
Because if I tell you how good you are, sorry to interrupt, Ali,
Go on.
but if I tell you you're marvellous, Ali, you're fantastic, everyone's saying you're marvellous, you're the best, and all your people are hyping you up, and then suddenly you get beat by a guy who looks more like you should be going to Weight Watchers, right? With all due respect, suddenly it comes crashing and thinking, hang on a minute, I'm not that great. That's a massively sobering
But again,
thing.
are we stereotyping about the physicality of someone?
I think so.
Yeah, because you've got that across the
Because-
heavyweight division. You've got your bigger and
It's genetics, right?
looser fighters, and then, I
Could
mean,
it
we
be-
saw that in the last fight with Miller against Dubois.
We
Is
did.
there something in the heavyweight division that a lot of people can't get their heads around? What is, more-
Name a great champion. All right, you could
Tyson
say the
Fury.
Tyson Fury. Yeah, okay. I knew you'd say that.
There
But
you
I'm
go.
talking about.
It's
All right, forget
interesting
Tyson
though,
Fury
isn't
for the
it?
moment. He's a bit of an enigma.
Sorry
Give
to
me
cut
one
you, Keith.
champion.
They've got Bivol at
But is
number
he an
5 for
enigma?
pound
Because
for
we've
pound.
got Andy Ruiz, we've got other guys.
Who? But who's been at the top of their game in the state that
who's
Andy
not
Ruiz
looked
has been?
low body fat.
No, but in terms of, we can't come with that that suggestion of
This
people
is
that
nonsense, by the
don't
way. Sorry to
Okay.
people
interrupt.
don't look the part can't fight.
So we're looking at the
That's
pound
not
for
true.
pound.
Yeah, it's a
rankings.
nonsense. It's complete
We've got
nonsense.
Terence Crawford at the top.
I totally agree with that.
Bivol
Special
in
fighter.
5th, pound for pound, below Canelo.
In
You
a
know
way-
who I put in as number one? The guy I put in as number one is not even in the ring's top 10.
Who?
Who's that then?
Shaka Stevenson.
No, Crawford for me.
Yeah, no.
But
Shaka
Crawford.
Stevenson
Terence Crawford.
is just
Yeah.
He's
insanely
special.
good.
Oh, he for the future, but in terms of right now, over the next couple of years, I think Terence Crawford, I can't see him losing to anybody.
I think Shaka Stevenson is another level. But there's a guy who I am more excited about than I've been in since perhaps Roy Jones Jr. when he left the amateurs. Is Andy Ruiz. You know Andy Ruiz, the Cuban?
What, the heavyweight that he would just...
No. Andy Ruiz is a lightweight. So
I'm joking. Yeah, I
now
know who you're
there's a
talking
guy
about.
also called Keyshawn Davis, who
Yes,
you know.
very good.
Andy Ruiz has beaten him about 4 times in the amateurs, and
Mhm.
beaten him in the Olympic final in Japan. This Andy Ruiz is probably the best amateur I've seen since Roy Jones in the Olympics. He turned pro in his first pro fight. Eddie Hearn put him in a 10-rounder. I think he went all 10 rounds and won it easy. And I think he stopped the next guy. The only obviously when you're in the amateurs, you could say, has he got the power for the pros? But wow, this guy
Was that Ruiz or Cruz?
I beg your pardon, Andy Cruz.
That's the one.
Wow, I mean this guy is
He's special.
sensational.
He looks very good. I mean, I think he fought last week, was it?
He's fought in the last few weeks.
That's right.
Second fight. But what's his name? Eddie Hearn said when he turned pro, he said, I think you could beat all of them now, including Shaka Stevenson.
Okay.
That's a big say.
Lyndon
Well-
Arthur.
Anyway, Lyndon Arthur's now heading to the ring, isn't he?
Yeah, walkouts are happening. Lyndon Arthur looks steely, looks focused. Biggest night of his career by a long way.
Yep.
But can he rise to the challenge? Ring walks are away.
I mean, he lost
taller,
the
he's got a
rematch
longer
to
reach.
Anthony Yard.
Then Bivol. Can he make that count? Similar age.
Where's he from, Thomas Trieber?
Thomas Triber. He lives in America. He lives in
Is he American?
one of the south
Southern states.
yeah, one of the southern states.
Oh, really?
Not New Orleans, but something down there. Texas?
Somewhere in the
Something
deep
like
south.
Something like that. Yeah, so Frank Warren got Lyndon Arthur this fight. I know that because he told me,
Mm.
which is nice because Lyndon, he left Queensbury.
Mm-hmm.
So who's
He's with
banner is he
Wasserman.
He's with
fighting under then?
Wasserman now.
The Sauerland
Sorry?
brothers.
He's with Sauerland brothers, Wasserman.
He's with Sauerland.
But Frank Warren got him this fight, got him this opportunity, as I was told by Frank. So I believe that to be true.
That's great. He deserves it, I think.
Yeah, and it's nice. You know,
It's
we
been a
saw
long,
Anthony
hard
Yard
journey for him.
get those opportunities. That must have been painful for Lyndon to watch, given that he
Exactly.
beat Anthony in the pandemic.
Mm.
So it's nice to see him getting
Especially,
this.
Joe, when the athlete doesn't go down the Olympic path, the amateur route, it's good to see these guys getting there.
And Lyndon's
chance.
been through a lot in his personal life. He's had family losses, tragic losses. And I think, yeah, this is probably the biggest night in his life, probably, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Talking of the amateur route, Ali, obviously our man Jordan has just left.
Mm.
He's never had an amateur career.
Yeah.
That must have it kind of helped him.
Helped him in what? In what
Well, I
sense?
think if you go down the amateur route, it gives you a good grounding, doesn't it?
Going down the amateur route, of course it does. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I said, obviously,
and also people look at you in a different light. I'd say coming through that amateur system, a bit more. What's the word? Get a bit more respect.
100%, yeah.
Because you've done it that way. But I would say in the last 5 to 10 years, that has changed a lot, and people are coming through with less amateur experience. But then I always say, if you're not going to get that amateur experience, then you need to get elite sparring to make up for it.
Bivol walking out here now, number 5 on the pound for pound. He just looks like it's another day in the office, doesn't it?
Yeah,
He's done it. Slightly different demeanour. Lyndon looked a little bit nervous there, and Bivol, yeah, he's been here before. He knows what this feels like.
Having said that, Joe, I mean,
you don't know what they're going through on the inside, but that's just what it looks from their demeanours walking out.
But
when he fought Craig Richards, Bivol, it wasn't a walk in the park, was it?
Yeah, sometimes you can underestimate people, and that could easily happen tonight with Lyndon.
100%, yeah.
You can get at these guys, but it's just a matter of, again, staying strong, mentally, game plan.
He hasn't fought
round
in
by
a
round,
year.
punch by punch.
So
Bivol,
so he fought Ramirez last November.
That's right, yeah.
And Canelo last May.
And he performed very well.
He's 13 months out the ring.
It's a long time. It is a long time.
I mean...
But he's a special fighter. I'm sure he's obviously well prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't want to be rude, but in a way this is a kind of tune-up for Bivol, isn't it? For what he wants to go and do next, isn't it?
Yeah, but these tune-ups can be banana skins, can't they? So
that happened with AJ with Ruiz, right?
Well, no, the thing is, Ruiz
came in last minute. Again, this is why it's very difficult to judge AJ on that performance, because in the rematch he controlled and dominated that match, didn't he?
Although Andy Ruiz came in even in worse shape.
That's right. And again, you have to have the right people around you to keep you grounded and make sure you enjoy your success, but then also at the same time you understand where you've come from and what needs to be done to keep that hunger. Because, like you say, ever since then, who has he really fought? Andy Ruiz.
How many
since Joshua 2?
2?
Yeah, exactly. And was Ortiz one of them? He fought Ortiz, I think. Was it Ortiz?
Did he beat Luis Ortiz?
Yeah, he did. But again, no disrespect, how old is Ortiz really?
Lyndon he's looked good in his last couple of fights though, hasn't he?
He has. Again,
Sonny Edwards is in Lyndon.
Yeah, they're very close friends, Lyndon and Sonny.
As Jordan said earlier.
Oftentimes you can hear Sonny's voice when Lyndon's fighting.
Oh, yeah, really?
Yeah.
He's a good character.
Little high-pitched voice.
I wonder where he goes from here.
Sonny? Yeah, I mean,
he's still a world-level fighter, right?
Absolutely.
So it's just a matter of...
Do you think he'll
learning and going forward?
Rodriguez again?
I think he could fight Rodriguez again, yeah.
But not straight away.
Not straight away. He has some learning to do from it. But also they brought in such a crowd, such a moment for that division.
True.
And I think that it would be hard for either of them to find that kind of atmosphere again. And
you need a dance partner, right?
In other fights.
Well, they're both quality operators. Sonny Edwards as well.
Again, with those type of fights, it's fine margins, right? Who's got that extra little bit of power to push that opponent back? Because the skill set, like you say, with the Sonny Edwards Bam fight, very high. But Bam just had that power to equalize and just to suppress what Sonny Edwards was trying to do, which was hit and move.
Were you surprised with the way that fight went?
No. I did have Bam slight favourite.
I thought he'd win on points. Split decision.
Oh, really?
That was my. I was in the sauna last week. Before that fight.
There we go.
That's right. We were talking about it. It was last week, wasn't it? Was it the week before? I can't remember.
I think it
Anyway,
was week 2,
I was talking with this. He does this YouTube boxing. He says, "You fancy?" I said, "Well, actually, I think I'll go Rodriguez on points, split decision."
Yeah, but I think it was, for me anyway, surprising at how different they were. How much Bam won by.
Yeah.
Because I do think Sonny's very, very good.
He's very
like
skillful,
Sonny
but
Evans.
again, it's just it comes down to what we just said briefly just a moment ago. It was the power and the way he cut the ring off to get to Sonny.
I like Lyndon's furry gown there.
Yeah. It's more Halloween than Christmas.
I like a good boxing wardrobe, all the gowns. Derek Chisora
Keep 'em
had a
warm.
great gown in the
he does, yeah.
fight last Christmas.
Well, you needed one, didn't we? Didn't
Yeah.
it? It was freezing cold.
Who hits harder, Anthony Yard or Bivol?
Oh, maybe.
Look, I would say Anthony Yard's
Yeah,
probably
maybe
a
Yard in the terms of
bigger puncher, but I
power.
don't think Anthony Yard has the staying power.
Correct. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Lyndon approaches this fight, because he has, how many rounds did he share with Anthony Yard in the end? So it was
In the
12,
last one, it
12
was-
plus,
Oh, who,
was it 6
Beterbiev?
or 7?
Wait, sorry. how many?
Lyndon versus Yard.
Oh, in the second
2.
fight, it went to 4 rounds.
Okay, so he shared
rounds.
16 rounds.
He's from Kyrgyzstan.
Haji, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a shame this whole thing with Russia and Bivol Beterbiev getting messed up because
I agree with you. It's not their fault, is it?
completely ridiculous, and also they're both Russian. So
I
why is one getting favoured over the other? Because he's got a Korean passport. This is why, right?
Oh, is that what? Okay.
Mm.
Do you know what? I mean, I find it ridiculous. I mean, it's an individual sport. I can understand if you're the team and you're going to play in the European
I
Championships
think
or
it's
something.
terrible.
But it's a bit like
It's
tennis.
enough already.
You know,
It's
it's
not their
ridiculous.
fault.
That's their country.
very
And they've
difficult.
worked so hard for their careers.
100%.
And it's got nothing to do with them what they're.
Look at
Whether
the
it's-
tennis players
leader.
last year. They weren't
Whether
allowed
it's
to
an
play at
individual
Wimbledon.
sport or it's a team sport, it's very difficult, right? Because sport brings people together.
I agree. All right, so we are about to go away. How do you expect it to be a slower start? Maybe feeling each other out.
Oh,
I would say
Well,
so.
I can see
think
already
so?
Lyndon Arthur's trying to use
jab.
his jab, and he's got a nice jab.
It's best asset. Why
But
not?
the thing is, Bivol is very good at adjusting with it in between rounds. He won't. He will adjust.
I think you're right, though. I can
He's-
see Lyndon having a really good account of himself.
100%. That was a stiff jab by Bivol early.
Bivol's strong. I mean, he's a strong
Look at his
boy.
feet. Did you see those feints?
He's fast and sharp, isn't he?
And
Bivol?
look, he touches.
He's just
Like
very
Jordan said
quick
earlier, with
movements.
Dubois, it looks like that every punch was a heavy shot. Whereas you have to set the shots up by touching, slipping, feinting, adjustments of the feet. That's
Lyndon
good.
having some success with his jab.
It's got a nice,
Doubled
it's got a
up
lovely
that jab.
It's got a nice quick jab.
Hmm.
There's quite a size difference there. Lyndon's quite a lot bigger than him,
He's got very long arms, Lyndon, as well.
Deceptively
really, the way
long,
that
yeah.
jab just
for sure.
flicks out.
They both like to box. So it could be, like you said, Joe, it could be an early first 4 rounds, bit of a chess match.
Very,
Good stiff jab there again by Lyndon Arthur.
it's interesting. You can see the difference in styles. I mean, Bivol is such an upright sort of
Like you said,
Russian
European.
style boxer, whereas Lyndon Arthur is kind of hunched over.
It's like Arthur Abrahams
Mm.
of the past, but for me with more skill.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything that sounds strange, but I think it's the Korean in him as well. It's that kind of
Yeah, true.
very meticulous
Yeah, that approach.
culture
very-
that,
of course.
you know,
Is one of his
Japanese
parents
Koreans
Korean?
have.
That's
I
right,
don't want to
100%.
say something that sounds bad, but I think the fact that he's half
Good.
Russian, half Korean, both of those mentalities and cultures come across in the way he fights.
It's a discipline in life.
Yeah, the disciplineness that you have in that part of the world.
Again, that's also
and then the brute force and discipline as well that you have in
No, you're spot on.
Russian athletes.
absolutely good 3-punch combination there by Bivol. Again, look at the feints. Look how quick he's adjusted. At the beginning of the round, it was very slow, relaxed. He's now upped the tempo just by feinting at a higher pace, and now he's starting to catch Lyndon Arthur a lot more.
Having success with that jab, isn't he? As you would expect.
That was good.
He looks good, Arthur.
That was good.
It's a good first round.
I'd give that to Bivol 1-0.
Would you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not so sure. I thought that Arthur, his jab was effective.
Yes, it was, Keith. It was 100%. But the punch combinations that landed in the mid to late rounds, that was all Bivol. And then he finished the round with it, and Lyndon finished the round with a clean jab to the head.
Anyone got any sweets? I can see Joe has.
I don't know what the rules are. It's my first watch along. No sweets. Help yourself.
Go on, go on.
It's a watch along. I think you can have a few sweets.
I'll tell you
I've
what.
never not eaten for 5 hours.
Joe, let me tell you something. Joe here is like Santa. She's got so many sweets and goodies.
Now they're all loose. But there's another bag.
Round
She's
2.
even got a Marmite. Are you sure?
Blimey.
I was going to go out and buy it, but because I was running
You're
late.
giving me the whole
Are you
bag.
sure?
I'm just saying.
Sorry, Joe. I put you in it
You
there.
was giving me the whole bag. No.
She was saving them for the journey home.
Of course.
I'm fine, thank you.
You can tell where I pulled over on the way here. Marks and Spencer's
M&S.
petrol station. I'll put them here then. He doesn't want them.
I mean, Bivol's very much
thank
on the
you.
front foot.
But this is what you think. Yes, he's on the front foot. He's feinting. And those feints are stopping Lyndon from throwing, Keith. Because like we were talking about shape earlier with Dubois, right? Lyndon's trying to keep his shape because he knows if he goes too early, he'll get countered. And Bivol won't miss. A good catch counter there by Bivol again.
Oh, all the fights have gone early, yeah.
Yeah, they have. Beautiful 1-2 down the middle by Bivol.
Ooh.
Putting some punches together.
Yeah, he does have some punch power, Bivol. Can hear it.
Just like, he doesn't waste anything.
I mean, are all the boxers
See?
getting
Falling.
ridiculous purses tonight?
Yeah, I think so.
Life, well, hopefully. I hope they are.
Hopefully.
I hope they are.
So it's a shame in a way that Jordan wasn't fighting Opetaia tonight,
that's what
right?
we were
A few
saying.
weeks. I don't know.
But I think, yeah, of course, no, sure. But I think that fight happened with Opetaia because Ellis Zorro is a Queensbury fighter. So I think Ellis Zorro got the chance, and then they pulled in Opetaia to fight him.
But it's a joint promotion,
as opposed to it being Opetaia finding an opponent. I think it was the other way around.
But if it's a joint promotion with Matchroom,
no, it's a Queensbury show.
It's mostly a Queensbury show. Yeah.
It's on DAZN, but it's a Queensbury show.
It's on BT as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but they
Or
only took it
TNT.
about a week ago. TNT only took it about a week ago.
So AJ and Eddie got asked to go onto the show. Is that how it works then? If it's a Queensbury show.
show.
Yeah.
I'm not sure of the politics.
Bivol is starting to unload 3s and 4s.
He's a Matchroom fighter, isn't he, Bivol?
Yes, he is. And so is Jai. And I think there's one more. Eddie's got 3 Matchroom fighters on this card. Good stiff jab again by Bivol.
Also, bear in mind some of that information I'm saying is what Frank Warren told me.
Yeah. No,
So
I'm interested to know.
bear that in mind that Eddie
So
Hearn
can you
might
just
say something different.
Yeah, no, of course it is.
Can you
Listen,
clarify
it is what it
Joe?
is.
So what you're saying is that
Frank Warren told me, let me preface with that this is a Queensbury show, and also that he arranged Lyndon to be in it.
But if it's Queensbury show, what part do Matchroom have?
I mean, obviously a lot of their fighters are on it, so
I'd say that's about it. If that's the case.
It's not co-promotion.
I mean, to be fair, Dev's been leading the all the press conferences and stuff like that. So that suggests what Joe's saying is right.
Yeah, but there are a lot of matchroom fighters on it, so Eddie has a big part in it. But DAZN took it for the global feed.
Yeah.
So it's DAZN reporters in the ring. It's DAZN leading the TV coverage.
So that's interesting. DAZN leading the TV coverage.
And then TNT decided about a week ago or 2 weeks ago that they were going to take it.
And yet,
just for the UK audience.
And yet, Queensbury's got a contract with TNT.
Yes, that was interesting.
So I'm not
going to say anything more about that.
But again, you guys, that's the business side of of boxing, right? Obviously, Saudi Arabia allows that to happen.
Yep, everyone's coming together now.
Which is good. It's good for boxing. It's good for the fans. Lovely check hook by Bivol. Round 3 has started.
I think Lyndon blocked it, though.
Half. He lost his balance.
What I'm saying is, so if Jordan was fighting on this bill, he would have got a better purse, right?
Potentially.
Yeah,
I mean, you'd think so, right?
Of course.
I would have thought so, yeah.
Lyndon Arthur at the moment, he cannot cope with the punch combinations that Bivol's throwing out, and 2-3 punch combinations. He's always off balance. So he can't throw back. You see the way he's leaning to the right, Lyndon Arthur. That stops him from throwing.
He measures up,
That's right.
Bivol. So he holds him out and measures up, doesn't he?
He's got to start throwing back, Lyndon Arthur here.
Oh, Lyndon's in a bit of trouble here.
He seems all right with it.
He blocked most of those, but as you say, he hasn't thrown anything of note himself in the first 3.
And you can't help but
first 3.
remember how he kind of fell apart in that fight with Anthony.
Absolutely.
When Anthony just unleashed on him.
And like you said, it was 4 rounds, so he unraveled quite quickly. The thing is, if he's going to have that lead hand so low against Bivol, he has to then move his feet off the line. And he's not doing that, and that's how he's getting countered. If you notice, Bivol only throws his flurries when Lyndon Arthur is backing up towards the rope.
Oh, right.
So in the middle, he'll just throw a jab. He'll just throw,
is that?
because he doesn't want to miss. He doesn't want to fall short.
Oh, right. Have Lyndon take a step back.
Yeah. So look, high guard again by Bivol, pushing him back with a jab.
I mean, he's a very technical boxer, Bivol. If not slightly kind of, I don't even want to say stiff, but, very upright, isn't he?
This is the thing, which is so strange with Bivol. Again, Bivol wins that round. It's 3-0. He's very upright. You say he's stiff, but his feet are so relaxed.
Yeah.
It's unusual to see that.
It reminds me a bit of Vladimir Klitschko in his style, actually.
Oh, you think so?
Well, that very upright kind of style, yeah. I mean, with all due respect to Klitschko only really had two punches to his armour, really.
Yeah.
It was a jab and a straight right. That was it.
Again, he was in an era of heavyweights where it wasn't. Well, he was
when there weren't any,
and Vitali fought Lennox.
Vitali lost to Lennox, albeit on slightly spurious circumstances.
Yeah,
on a cut, and then Lennox obviously realised, you know what, I'm done. He shouldn't have taken the Klitschko fight. He was kind of like.
I mean, you look at. You're spot on.
He wasn't hungry after that, was he?
Still a few empty seats, aren't there? Still a few empty seats in the stands.
I question the atmosphere.
There's always a terrible atmosphere.
I've heard that there's a poor atmosphere there.
It's always a thin atmosphere. But this
Have you been over there?
Yeah, I did the Tommy Fury Jake Paul fight.
Oh, right. So it was poor atmosphere, was it?
Yeah, but that was in Diriyah. This is in Riyadh.
That's right.
And this looks like a much bigger crowd than we had in Diriyah. Much bigger. But even so, there's still a few empty seats.
Yeah, it doesn't look that big here, does it?
No, this is bigger than the Diriyah one.
I think this is an outdoor arena, right?
I think a lot of them are outdoors. Yeah.
No, I think this is indoors.
Is it?
See, look, he's starting to catch Bivol's jab, but he can't throw anything back because Bivol's so quick.
Actually, it sounds echoey. Maybe it is indoor.
I think it is.
Ooh. Lyndon Arthur going backwards again onto the ropes.
So fast, isn't he, Bivol?
Sharp. I mean, it's like you said earlier, Joe, he's been out the ring for 13 months?
And he's still sharp. Yeah, well, next year, Bivol, we could see Bivol Beterbiev and Bivol Canelo rematch.
Yes.
Could be that year for him.
Yeah.
That's better from Arthur.
I don't know why it would bother him to see a Canelo rematch. It was a convincing win.
Take it and run.
It was a convincing win.
I've said it a few times tonight. Money talks. And like you said, Keith, it's a convincing win, and he'll just prove to the fans that he'll do. For me, he'll do it again.
Of course he will. Unless he goes down to super middle to do
Which would be a huge
it may be a weight
mistake.
this year, but
Huge mistake. You see the feints? He's starting to... He just can't get out of the way of his jab, though. Lyndon Arthur. He's feinting quicker in this round, but he can't throw anything off it because he's standing still when he's doing it.
Wait.
see, I'd like to see. I mean, look, he's obviously getting backed up by Bivol.
Yeah.
He's not. He's on the back foot the whole time, but you'd like to sort of see him sort of like sidestep, come down to the side, and you understand what I'm saying? They get those side shots.
Yeah, no, to go to the body.
Create different angles.
But this is the problem.
Bivol's picking him off.
He knows Bivol hits too hard for him. That's why he's boxing the way he is. He's in his shell. He's trying to fight and get the jab off. He's not throwing any hooks or any right-hand crosses in his counter punches. He can't get the body, Keith, because he's, like as you say, he's going backwards. So if you're going backwards, how can he transfer the body weight in time to hit the body?
Tell me,
if the target's moving.
I didn't see some of the earliest fights. What happened with Frank Sanchez?
I think that was a 6-round stoppage.
Frank Sanchez.
Yeah.
Who was he up against?
Junior Farr.
Junior Farr. Yeah.
So he went down. I think he went down.
Was there another fight, Joe, before that? Hergovich. How did he go?
I think that was that a 2nd round stoppage? 2nd round stoppage in his favour, yeah.
I mean, look, Hergovich is number one.
We haven't had the upset yet.
WBO, it's coming.
IBF.
Number one on the WBO.
I like it.
IBF mandatory.
Is the IBF mandatory? I mean, to be honest with you, I think Zhang beat him.
Zhang won the first one by 4 rounds.
That's what I'm saying. He beat Hergovich.
Yeah.
Zhang deserves a world title shot, doesn't he?
But he's a boogeyman.
Huh?
Yeah,
no one wants to fight him. Southpaw, big 19.5 stone guy.
He would be an amazing match.
That'd be fantastic. That would be the battle of the giants.
Which one? Fury and Zhang.
Zhang and Fury.
I'll watch that.
Well, I'm sure you'll watch it.
But it's a good fight, Keith.
Yeah, it is a good fight.
Potentially more competitive than
Yeah. I agree.
the Usyk fight, right?
I agree.
I was at
Especially
the Joyce
after
fight.
Seeing Fury struggle against Ngannou.
Someone who can absorb his shots and throw back.
Yeah.
The thing is with Deontay Wilder, fantastic performances by Tyson Fury, fantastic. But you're fighting someone who was very limited in his skill set, right? But that power could have... I think Deontay could have gone through the eras in terms of his matching up his power, but in terms of skill set, nowhere near. Nowhere near. And if you're durable enough and you're slick enough, Wilder loses to all the greats.
100%. There's not even...
So it's hard to gauge, right? Stars make fights. I always thought Fury would beat Wilder. And then,
even in the first fight?
Yes. I went for that.
You went to that, yeah?
No. I said that. My daughter's my witness. I said Fury would win that fight.
Bivol's footwork is amazing, isn't it? What you're saying about how loose his feet are.
Facts. And the key is, it's not him going forwards and backwards, it's going sideways. That's the key.
See, my favourite, I'm a bit older than you guys, so my favourite ever British fighter is Harold Bomber Graham.
Yeah.
Right? Who was, in a way, he was a genius in a way, even though he didn't win a world title. He should have done if his mindset had been different.
See, again, we talk about mindset.
That's what I'm saying. And if you watch the way he fight, he used to spin off the ropes. I mean,
Yeah,
he was
slick.
He was slick, you know.
And he had that nasty streak with it.
He didn't quite have the nasty.
You don't think
streak.
so?
Harold Bomber Graham.
Yeah, you don't think so?
I think if it had the nasty streak, he would have probably been. He would have been possibly the greatest middleweight this country's produced.
True. I get what you mean.
I mean, what's his name? Eubank, Ben. They didn't want to touch him.
Very skillful, though, wasn't he?
Too skillful. I mean, Eubank admits it, and I used to be quite friendly with Ben's manager, Ambrose Mendy's son.
Yes. Okay.
So Ambrose's son. I used to play football with him.
Right.
He said he was there when Ben said, he goes, I ain't fighting you.
That's a good story, Keith.
Would you say Lyndon's giving a good account of himself?
I think he's doing okay, but he's
a one-trick pony.
He's 5 rounds down now. End of the 5th, I believe that is. He's
a one-trick pony.
He's out of his depth, I'd say.
He is out of his depth. He's got a very good jab, but there's nothing much more.
I don't know if they're boos or cheers for Cristiano Ronaldo.
Could be boos for Conor McGregor.
I'd hope so.
Yeah, me too.
But I believe Conor McGregor's a Manchester United fan.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you a football fan, Joe?
Yeah.
Who's your team?
Liverpool.
Oh, you're kidding me.
2 Arsenal fans and 1 Liverpool.
Well, it's a shame it wasn't 2-1. It was a draw in the end, right?
So into the 6th round here.
Yeah. I think, look, Lyndon's a quality fighter, but Bivol is special.
And again, Lyndon is, apart from that beautiful jab he's got, he's not doing much else,
Facts.
is he?
And that's not enough.
It's not enough, is what I'm saying.
Enough against someone like Bivol. He hasn't lead. That's correct. And the reason for Lyndon, the reason he's not coming forward is because he's going to be open to the counter punch.
Right.
That's why he's staying back.
Cautious on.
That's right. Because he felt his power early. I think it was in the 2nd round. A left hook landed.
Yeah, but if he keeps jabbing, coming in off behind the jab,
then Bivol will get his hands up. And again, that's what happened against Craig Richards, right? If Richards went a few rounds earlier,
I think Richards did a good job.
Because I believe he done a very good job. So he's keeping him off balance. He can't throw anything back if that's happening, Arthur. Halfway through round 6. He's starting to mark him. Lyndon Arthur's starting to get marked up now.
You know, believe it or not, I think Anthony Yard would have been better for him to have fought Bivol than Beterbiev.
Yeah, I agree. Because Anthony Yard probably a bit stronger, maybe, than Bivol, maybe.
I mean,
well, he's stronger than Lyndon Arthur, I would say.
But Beterbiev was so strong. I mean, he's
a
got 100% KO record.
He's a strong man. A little bit of a wrestling match there. Piston. There you go. And that's what we said earlier with regards to the jabs. Not every jab has to be heavy. It's setting up the next punch.
And also,
next combination.
Also, Ali, I mean, Bivol, Craig Richards is just sticking at his jab, but Bivol, he comes forward with he punches in bunches.
100%. You talking about the Craig Richards fight, or you talking about Lyndon Arthur? Keith?
Yeah.
Which one are you talking about? You talking about Richards, or you talking about this
No, I'm
fight
talking about here.
Arthur, yeah.
I'm saying Lyndon Arthur is using his jab, not much else. But Bivol, he punches in bunches.
Yeah. I think the best word to use is he's being overwhelmed. That's what it is.
He's doing all right.
Listen,
Arthur.
of course. I mean, he's a top level fighter himself, but he's going up against one of the best.
Do you think so, Joe? I mean, he needs a bit more. He needs a bit more to his game, Lyndon Arthur. He needs a few more shots to his armory to be really giving 100%. Him a proper go.
100%.
I mean, if he was obviously fighting someone of a level below Bivol, then he would be throwing those shots, but he just doesn't. He doesn't have the skill set to get anywhere near Bivol, to be honest.
Who are we going to? What round is this?
So we're going to round 7, I believe.
And it's 6-0.
Did we say nil in boxing?
What shall we say? 0, 0?
6-0.
0-0.
6-0.
And again, that's no disrespect to Lyndon Arthur at all. He's fighting Dimitri Bivol in his peak, elite level.
He's still there, Lyndon. He doesn't look like he's wobbling or anything.
No, he's solid. He's still thinking in there. He's still trying to find the openings, but it's very difficult.
Yeah, he's just such a technical fighter, Bivol.
He doesn't give you a chance to breathe. And look how he varies that jab.
Yeah, I mean, Bivol has managed to stop Lyndon's jab for the most part. And that is Lyndon's
strength,
leading tool.
That's what won him the fight against Yard in the first fight, right?
Yeah.
But also if you look at Bivol, his work rate.
Oh, it's fantastic. Look, their touches. That's the power shot there.
Bivol.
He's got Lyndon Arthur on the ropes in the 7th.
With Arthur on the ropes, yeah.
Look how relaxed he is. It's like he's just started. Effortless.
I wonder how much Lyndon upped his training for this. I saw Anthony Yard train before the Beterbiev fight, and I've seen Anthony train a few times. I've never seen him train that hard. Yeah. He was a completely different animal before that Beterbiev fight.
But with Anthony Yard, I mean, I remember when he lost to Kabayel, a lot of people were saying, "Why doesn't he spar?"
He does spar. I think someone started that rumor. He does spar. And I think everyone bought that rumor, but I think it was like more of a joke.
It just seemed a bit ridiculous to me.
It's not true. But I mean, Anthony worked into the ground before that Beterbiev fight. I hope Lyndon. I'm sure he did, but
he did pop out, didn't he?
Yeah.
Put a lot into it, and he just gassed.
But he had his moments.
He did have his moments. Yeah.
I want to see a few moments from Lyndon. Just a few key moments.
Doesn't put enough shots together, does he?
Yeah.
The thing is, if he tries to do that, he opens himself up and he could get knocked out. So then do you just take the loss on points and move on? Or do you show a little bit more
you need to show something
and potentially get knocked out?
It's your one big opportunity. You're on the biggest stage.
I agree with you, Joe. But
you want to show the world what you can do.
No, you're spot on.
Be remembered, because we all talk about how great Anthony Yard looked, even though he lost both of those world title fights.
That's right.
And it's nice to be talked about in that way because of what he showed in the ring in those moments.
Is this round 8 coming up?
Round 8 coming up.
Bivol 7-0.
Both of them look like they got plenty of energy, but you know, you just want to see a few more shots put together from Lyndon.
This is the thing. He's actually trying to do that.
Of course.
But he's just not. It's just.
Bivol's
It's very difficult. He's a special fighter.
Technically gifted fighters in the world.
See, look, he's even apologising for a slight low blow there by Bivol.
Bivol was apologising?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Lovely body shot. Again, the level changes, the way he goes up and down with his jab.
He's also, like I said, he's got a very good work rate, Bivol.
Fantastic work rate, Keith, actually. Spot on there, mate.
Arthur's just, unfortunately, he's not got enough in the toolbox, has he?
No. And I did say before the fight, if he doesn't have the power to back Bivol up, this is how it was going to go.
Mm.
Dominating behind the jab, Bivol throwing 3-4 punch combinations.
Do you see Bivol getting a stoppage? Or you think it's
I
just
don't
gonna
think
go
he will.
distance?
I think it will. I mean, the way it's going, it will go to points unless Lyndon Arthur opens up, which I doubt he will.
And he doesn't have the highest stoppage ratio, so
No. He's got 11?
I think it was 11 out of 20. 11 out of 21.
Yeah.
But again, he boxes, he comes in and out. He doesn't really look for the knockout. He's not really.
11 out of 21.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's power shot. Beautiful 3-punch combination there by Bivol.
I don't think Joshua Boazzi or Dan Aziz beats this guy.
You don't think what, sorry?
I don't think Joshua Boazzi or Dan Aziz beats Dimitri Bivol, do you?
No, I don't think I don't think anyone.
I think out of the
beats
two,
Dimitri Bivol.
I think out of the two, Boazzi's got the better chance.
Of beating Bivol?
Yeah.
I'm
not saying he's gonna win.
I genuinely can't see anyone beating him.
I'm not saying he's gonna win, but I
one.
think in terms of giving a good account, putting punch combinations together, I think Boazzi out of the British boys. Ooh,
I just hope we see that undisputed.
Bivol's hurt. Bivol's hurt. What? It was a left hook to the. It was a body shot.
Yeah, but Bivol's
if they show that replay
now.
Oh my word, that came out of the blue. But that's what you both called it. He needs to get going. He needs to come forward and start throwing his shots. It's taken 8 rounds for him to do this.
Arthur's more confident now.
Come on, Lyndon.
15 seconds. You almost wish this round was a bit longer.
But again,
I don't think he's troubled Bivol. Does he? Doesn't it trouble to me? Does it to you?
No. Well, no. But he was a little bit rocked.
But look, this is going to open him up. I want to see a replay of that. I'll give that round to Lyndon Arthur, not for the body shot, but I just think the last minute and a half, minute 20.
Let's see what.
I need to see that replay. You can just tell by his body language. He was hurt.
Yeah, I'd like to see it again, like you said.
Oh, so
watch. He hurt him. I think it was the right. Was it the right?
That's the wrong bit. We want to see the other bit. Here we go. No,
here we go. This has got to be it, surely. No. Again, Bivol was dominating the round until he got hit to the body.
Bivol.
Show us the right part of the replay.
Come on. Are they going to show it?
Come on.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, does he look rocked?
That's not it though, Keith.
Was that another one?
They haven't showed they didn't show it.
Oh, they didn't show it.
But I promise you, everybody, he was hurt for a moment. For 3-4 seconds, I'm telling you. He recovered very well.
Yeah, the commentators are complaining about that.
About them not showing.
He definitely hurt him. Bivol stepping forward, pushed Lyndon Arthur back onto the ropes.
Bivol's not messing around now after he felt a little something in the previous round.
By the way, this is pay-per-view. How much is it pay-per-view? This
£20.
Yeah,
£20.
19.99, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
95
you know,
or
for a
something.
pay-per-view event, it's not bad value.
Absolutely, yeah.
You compare it to like previous Joshua fights, $29.95.
But who was that against? Was that against? That was a Klitschko one, wasn't it?
No.
Vladimir.
But I think maybe that has something to do with the fact that it's on 2 channels. Maybe they paid less each or something.
Oh, maybe.
Bivol's back on song.
How long do you give it before Ben Whittaker can mix in this company?
Oh, God.
Before what? Ben Whittaker's what?
Ben Whittaker can mix in this kind of company.
Lots of people speaking
couple
very
of
highly
years.
of him.
He's a skillful fighter. He's got to stop all this Prince Nassim wannabe acts, I'd say, and start boxing seriously. He's got the ability. He's got the talent.
Lyndon on the ropes again.
But he
What
really
about
needs to-
Ezra? Ezra Taylor.
He's a, that. Do you know that'd be a good matchup? Those two.
Well,
On the come up.
they're already sort of
Exactly.
throwing the insults at each other.
That's
aren't they?
right. So is that going to be for a British title? Is that a European?
I texted Ezra, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, because I'm in contact with him from time to time. I said, Ezra, I'm watching your future rival here. I'm hoping you're gonna deal with him. You see, he goes, don't worry. What does he say to me? He said, don't worry. I'm gonna.
Are you trying to stir something up here, Keith?
Yes.
Again,
Here we
Lyndon's
go.
realised too late. He's
goes,
working to the body. It's too late now.
He goes, don't worry. A knockout on Whittaker is on the cards for sure.
That was Ezra.
He's a Frank Warren fighter, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a good kid. Good boy.
Come on, Lyndon, throw. The last few rounds, Lyndon has stepped up. He's starting to throw
Yeah.
more.
So
But again, you could tell in the first part of the fight,
So we're heading
he
into
gave him
round.
too much respect. Sorry, Joe.
That's all right. We're heading into round 10. Maybe Lyndon has one round.
I'd say that. Very difficult to give him a second round at this point. I mean, that last round, it was a little bit more competitive, but not enough to give him a round. That's for sure.
Good shot to the body by Bivol.
We need the replay of that.
But they won't now because they show
It's a shame.
round by round replays.
Hoping they might show it at the end of the fight.
It's round 10.
So it's round 10. Final. No, okay, it's a 12 rounder. This is the thing, it's so easy for us to say, do this, do that. But when you're in there against someone who's technically so gifted,
Of course.
it's so hard, right?
I mean, is it technically gifted or technically solid? Or both?
Both. I think they come in hand, no? Hey, Keith?
I don't know.
Because
Yeah,
obviously,
you'd probably
if
say
you're
so.
technically gifted, you have to have that solid foundation to work off.
Actually, it's interesting you say that. I mean, I can only say from my experience in, for example, another combat art, Taekwondo. So I see a lot of students in the class. Sometimes I have to break off and go through stuff with them. And technically, they're flawed. They don't hold their stances correctly in their blocks and stuff. But maybe that is a talent. Maybe that is talent. I'm not saying that I was that great, but when I was 16, I started. I had it. It just came to me quite easily. The actual technique. So maybe you're right. Maybe they are solid and
It's a
gifted
mesh
are
of
two
two.
things.
Yeah.
But then you can learn technical solidity.
Of course you can. You can always learn.
Lyndon still looks
He
strong and
he's got
focused.
bounce, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He looks a lot more
energy.
confident now, Joe,
Yeah.
than he did at the beginning and the middle of the fight.
I think you said, Joe, didn't you? I think you said that Lyndon looks better now than he did earlier on.
Yeah. Oh,
Maybe he got buoyed by the fact that he hurt Bivol very briefly.
100%.
I think he
that
definitely
gave him the confidence.
got
But
Look
now
at this.
Bivol's backing him up again.
oh.
45
This is great
seconds to
work
go.
from
Bivol with Lyndon in
round
the
10.
corner there. Absolute. Oh, those shots from Bivol. Just
It's
like
great work, isn't it?
perfect distance, right?
But you see,
Double jabs.
he doesn't throw too much. He just throws enough, steps out, and then goes again.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Perfectly measured.
And that all comes from balance. Ten seconds to go.
And then we are into the championship rounds, as they say. Well,
Oh,
it
they're
is.
both
It's well
going at
tight.
it.
I mean, it is well title fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's championship rounds.
I mean, Bivol obviously is not a concussive puncher by any means, is he? Because he puts in a lot of work. He's got a great engine, but he doesn't seem to do a huge amount of damage, does he?
What was the difference that took him apart from Canelo?
He has enough power
He was big enough. He
and the
was,
size to
The
keep
size.
him off.
and technically,
And the skill set. Canelo's become very, I'm going to walk you down. It doesn't matter if I'm 5 rounds down, I'm going to knock you out.
I'm not a Canelo fan. For me,
Listen, he's class,
he
but
look against Caleb
Really?
Plant up to the point that it was stopped in the 11th. I think Caleb Plant was ahead in the fight for sure. I think Billy Joe Saunders was in my card ahead in the fight against Canelo.
Amir Khan was before
think
he got
But that
iced
lasted
out.
what, 6
You think
rounds?
Canelo's overhyped?
Who?
You think Canelo's overhyped?
I do. I think he's tough. I think he's clever. And I also think that obviously he got done,
Disagree.
I also don't like the fact that he got
Keith's
done,
a hard man to please, mate.
he got done and he had to be suspended because it's
Oh, you're talking
unacceptable.
about the meat
To me,
incident.
it's unacceptable.
Oh yeah, of course. It's difficult, right?
He got away scot-free.
So round 11.
Yeah.
Bivol massively on the front foot with Lyndon against the ropes again.
See, I mean, Arthur has never in this fight taken
No.
the centre of the ring.
Because he can't. He doesn't have the ability to do so. And I mean that with.
Well, he
the
can't
utmost
back. He doesn't
respect.
seem to back up his jab, does he?
No, he doesn't have enough.
Have you ever seen him? He's got a great
basically-
jab.
Lyndon's throwing that jab, but he's throwing it on the back foot. Look, he's crept forward there, but he hasn't thrown it. So now you're in the centre of the ring. You've thrown the jab, but you're just
There you
throwing
go. He
it's an
caught him
arm
with the jab.
He's
but
not
it's just
stepping
one
in with
jab.
that jab.
Don't you think he
See,
should
look,
be following
He just
up?
hit him to the body.
1-2, 1-2.
He just threw a jab to the head and went down right hand to the body. He hasn't done enough of that.
Four minutes 20 left in this fight.
But you know, you look at the combinations that Bivol puts together, the angles of the punches, the body shots. Lyndon Arthur just doesn't do any of that.
Against a lesser opponent, he would get these shots off. He's proven that in the past.
If the fight ends like this, do you think Lyndon will be happy?
He'll be
No.
happy if he stays a distance.
Because
No.
he didn't show enough
Yeah.
of what he can do.
It's flat.
And the
Going
fact that he had that one
90% of the time.
moment shows that he could have had more.
Potentially. But it's also mentally quite demoralizing that he's recovered from that straight away, and then Bivol's back doing what Bivol does best. On that jab, 2-3 punch combinations off of the jab, changing the angles, head, body.
It's not a hugely exciting fight, this one, is it? I mean, it's obviously great to watch.
I mean,
Bivol,
for the purist, I would say for the purist,
just to watch Bivol and his skill.
Class.
Yeah.
What he's doing.
Look at this. There you go.
Oh.
Bivol has knocked him down.
All right.
And
Fantastic
has the referee
combination
called
of
that
punches.
stop the fight? No, he hasn't. They're counting.
Okay, Lyndon's getting up.
He's taking a knee.
And
the bell has saved him.
Listen, he'll want to last the fight, but I mean, he's out.
That's tough.
Oh wow! So look, he's got one more round.
Just as I said, it wasn't hugely exciting. Bivol comes out and does that huge.
I didn't want to interrupt
shots,
you, Joe.
Body shot.
That's why I stayed quiet.
Yeah, he really wound it up there, Bivol.
Bringing the hands down, then he goes upstairs. Look at that.
Yeah, see the level changes. The level changes.
Like a punch bag.
Yeah.
Listen, he's fatigued.
It'd be nice if Lyndon can get to the end now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Given that now it's touch and go.
100%.
I think
he deserves to get to the end. He's done well to survive and stay in there.
And to get up at the end there. Three minutes, Lyndon.
He's done well, I think.
Oh, Bivol's going for it.
Bivol starts with a triple jab.
Coming out.
Right back.
Yeah.
The thing is, Bivol won't look for the knockout. He'll just carry on boxing the way he does. If it comes, it comes.
I don't know. He kind of looks like he's going for a knockout now.
The referee could step in here.
Bivol is
the referee could step in here.
Shoot.
He's blocking him.
Bivol is
but he's not throwing or he's not grabbing.
Oh, he has to fight back, Lyndon.
2.5 minutes to go.
He has to fight back, Lyndon.
On the back foot here.
Uh-oh.
The referee will stop this fight.
Yeah, unless Lyndon doesn't
get
something back.
Coming back a little
nice short uppercut by Lyndon Arthur there.
That's a bit more like it.
Good. Come on, Lyndon. Move your feet. Lyndon's backing up on the ropes. He's feeling the pace. Bivol's eased off again.
He showed good heart, Lyndon, hasn't he?
He has.
Coming through a few of those.
Another lovely body shot there. Very good. Can he get a 120 to go in the 12th? Yeah. Bivol will finish with a flurry. Last 30 seconds. 1 minute to go.
I think I just unplugged you.
That's all right, don't worry. He'll be happy if he stays.
He'll find that. He'll get to the bell unless Bivol starts to.
I think that's what he wants. But this has been a nice round actually from Lyndon Arthur. After the knockdown, he's
he's found something.
Yeah,
he's a tough man. Tough man. Last 30 seconds. Here it comes. Good feint again by Bivol.
Bivol.
Level changes
23
again.
23 seconds and Bivol is unloading again.
Referee's looking again. Come on, Lyndon. Get off the ropes, buddy. Fights back. Short right hook.
I think Lyndon's going to get there.
He's going to get there.
Good jab by Lyndon Arthur there to finish.
There we go.
I thought Dimitri Bivol showed what a great operator he is.
10-2-9-3. Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Lyndon can be pleased with what he's done there, especially the last couple of rounds. He had some moments.
He'll be happy he lasted the distance.
Last round was good from Lyndon as well.
Definitely.
Fantastic.
Looks proud.
I mean, they all say they've been given short notice. I mean, how many weeks have they had?
I think they've had a little. Well, fair, I suppose, but
6 to 8 weeks, is
enough.
it? Or
yeah, not like a full camp, but
I mean, these boys, they should be in the gym, even if there's no fight date there. So you can't really. You have to stay ready, right?
For opportunities like this.
100%. No,
So Lyndon Arthur, won 2 or 3 rounds, maybe?
yeah, I'd give Lyndon that last round.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 2 or 3 rounds. It's not bad.
Again, it was tight.
Be interesting to hear the scorecards when they come out.
It's all subjective. I mean, it's like, what are you liking there? Are you liking the defensive work of Arthur in that last round?
If he fights Beterbiev, I mean, it's going to be a good fight, but I think Bivol wins.
But Beterbiev's got a lot of strength and that KO ratio.
Yeah.
So
that is also true.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone thought that Ramirez might give Bivol a tough time. Bigger guy.
I think
outboxed him.
19 wins, 19 KOs, if I remember.
Something like that, yeah.
I think he was 18 going into the Anthony Yard one, so.
Who's that?
Beterbiev, I think he's 19 wins, 19 KOs.
And even in that fight, I think, Yard knocked him down, right?
The only thing is, how long is it going to take to make that fight? And Beterbiev's 38 already, going to be 39 soon, I think. And all this Russia stuff is prolonging it.
When's he fighting?
Beterbiev's fighting Smith, but I think it's one of the belts. I guess the belt that Bivol has, maybe. Won't let the fight happen because of the Russia issue, and that needs to be dropped.
Very wide on scorecards.
What was the scorecard?
They gave every single round.
Every single round.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 10-2. That was us being generous.
I mean, it was a quality exhibition.
Yeah.
Quality exhibition, wasn't it?
Top draw.
He is top draw. I mean, if he punched a bit harder, he'd be unstoppable. That guy.
This is the thing, though. If you open up against Bivol, I think he can knock you out. He's got that type of. I mean, whoever he fights, they're very tight guarded.
Of punches, isn't it?
They're very tight guarded. They're very respectful of Bivol's skill set, and then it makes it harder for him to knock people out, right? I'd say.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is with Bivol, he punches.
Punches and bunches.
But none of them. If he knocks you out, it's about a collectivity.
Oh yeah, for sure.
As opposed to one punch concussive power.
Yeah, I wonder if, as they're saying, if Chris Mannix will ask about that body shot from Lyndon. Oh, good sparring, Bivol says. Ouch.
Bivol says it's good sparring.
Wow. That's a bit of a low blow.
To be fair, the way we spoke about the fight as it was going on.
Undisputed, he's talking about.
Slightly harsh.
That's a bit rude, actually.
Yeah, that's slightly harsh, that.
We have noticed that Eddie Hearn, whenever he stands, he's always covering his testicular region.
Why are you even bringing that up, Keith?
What's that?
What is that got to do with it?
Maybe he used to play football or something. Maybe he used to play football. Who knows?
By the way, if you look at any body language book, that's a very protective stance.
Well, he's around a lot of boxers.
Huh?
Yeah, they're still interviewing Bivol at the moment.
See, these are quite clean shots, right? So, again, he's not doing enough damage with them.
Who's not, Keith?
Sorry?
He was doing plenty of damage there.
You know what I mean? I'm talking about if he had concussive punch power, one punch power.
Right. Yeah.
then he
But
would have been
damage
over a long time ago.
No, but in terms of, I mean, not every boxer is going to have that unique Deontay Wilder power, are they?
It's true.
It's very rare. Yeah, you said that earlier, Joe.
He already said, yeah. He already said as well. So he's saying that Bivol might happen in Saudi.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's asking for it.
I think, to be honest, I think this could potentially be the first of many big cards. No? That Queensbury and
Look, it's a shame. You know what? It's good for boxing and it's bad for boxing. Why? Because in the same way that Usyk and Fury took a while to make happen, because it was during Ramadan, I think, and they couldn't make the fight or something. They couldn't make the fight happen because they want the Saudi money.
Oh,
so what I'm saying is, in a way, it's bad for boxing because fighters are going to be holding out. Oh, maybe I can fight in Saudi Arabia and get the big meal ticket.
Mm. Well,
that's a problem.
The way you negate that, you have a takeover fight and then you get ready for Saudi to make the big fights.
What I'm saying is that you can't have every big fight in Saudi. And that's bad for boxing because it means that fighters will wait out and think maybe we can get a fight over there.
Mm. It's a business.
Do you?
What did he say?
Eddie Hearn believes
someone's
Callum
getting
Smith's going to knock out
fight.
Beterbiev. I mean, obviously he has to say that, but
can't see that.
He couldn't do that against Callum Smith, so against a bigger man.
He couldn't knock out. I mean, obviously he's got tremendous chin. Is Canelo, but there's a much smaller guy than Callum Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Lyndon Arthur getting interviewed now by Chris Mannix. What went wrong? Levels.
I can't hear it, so can you relay it, Joe?
He said he performed as well as he could.
With the time that he had.
With the time that he had. I don't think anything went wrong for Lyndon. He said he's as good as everyone thinks he is. And he believes that Bivol will beat Beterbiev.
Right.
But he would say that as well because of the Anthony Yard rivalry.
I think Bivol starts favourite. Whether it's
favourite?
Yeah, whether it's against Smith or Beterbiev.
Well, we are getting into the co-mains. The co-main. And
Wilder Parker.
Yeah, we're into the main section. Wilder Parker. I will have my eyes shut for that because I really like both guys and I don't want to see anyone get
Parker needs to make
massively knocked out.
The first 4 rounds are very important for Parker. Can he survive that first?
I think
4-round onslaught.
And then the big one, and then Anthony Joshua, Otto Wallin.
Again, that could start out to be a bit of a cagey affair, that one.
Yeah, as much as I do like Joseph Parker, I still see Wilder as a heavy favourite for that. I think if anything is an upset, it's probably the Wallin fight. But I think Anthony Joshua will probably come through.
He should do. I think obviously Wallin's got more of a much better skill set than Charles Martin, that's for sure. Joshua's never really had issues with fighters of similar height. Mm-hmm. Anthony Joshua, he doesn't really have issues with people that are as tall as him. He has issues with the shorter, squatter fighters.
With getting down there.
Yeah. Because he's susceptible to those hooks, those short shots on the inside. And then that unfortunately gets him wobbling. But if you can keep it long, move away from Wallin's backhand, it could be a very good explosive finish for Anthony.
Yeah, so they're talking about how Lyndon not only had a short count but had an injury. I did hear he had an injury until recently. So given
that makes sense.
Given that, it was a really good account of himself.
I mean, this is the thing, you see, we're not privy to what goes on behind the scenes.
I had heard someone say
so
that they'd seen him training recently and he looked injured and they didn't speak very confidently, and yet he didn't show any of that tonight. He looked.
He did look flat. I mean, if you put it together, it does make sense. If he's had an injury, it's affected his training camp. He's done, as you said earlier, he's done really well to get through it, as he has done.
Yeah.
So.
Let's continue with the weigh-in for the final 2 bouts of the evening for tomorrow night. This next contest is presented in association with Bomb Squad. It's scheduled for 12 rounds for the vacant WBC International and WBO Intercontinental Unified Heavyweight Championships. It's former world champion versus former world champion. So now let's bring the fighters to the stage and then to the scales. Coming out first, bringing a professional record consisting of 36 fights, 33 victories, including 23 wins by knockout with 3 defeats. He comes to us from South Auckland, New Zealand. He's ranked number 3 in the world by the WBO. He is the former WBO heavyweight champion of the world, Lupe Soliai Laole Ole Maleatoa, a.k.a. Big Joseph Parker. And now to the stage, his opponent, bringing a professional record consisting of 46 fights, 43 victories, including 42 KOs, only 2 defeats with 1 draw. He is ranked number 1 in the world by the WBA and WBC. From Tuscaloosa, Alabama, USA, the former WBC heavyweight champion of the world, the Bronx Bomber, Deontay Wilder.
Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need.
245.3 pounds for the former world champion, Big Joseph Parker. Next onto the scales, the former world champion from the United States, the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder. Here he comes onto the scales, the former champion Deontay Wilder. Official weight, 213 pounds for Deontay Wilder. Former world champion versus former world champion on the line. The prestigious 2 titles, WBC vacant title, WBC International Championship, WBO Intercontinental Championship. 12 rounds scheduled. It's Parker versus Wilder.
Hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway, and in the driveway.
Here they are, face to face. They get in the ring tomorrow night. Live around the world, pay-per-view everywhere. Joseph Parker, Deontay Wilder, former world champion versus former world champion.
Slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never ran, sitting no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Day of reckoning. The big boys are in the house. It all goes down tomorrow night at the Kingdom Arena, Boulevard City, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display, on repeat in your brain till you feel it.
Here with Big Joseph Parker in your last fight with Simon Keane. You looked fantastic. You stopped him. You were quite aggressive. Can you afford to be that aggressive against Deontay Wilder?
Listen, we're here, we're ready, and I can't wait. And I'm going to be aggressive, and I want to go in there and execute this plan, follow the strategies, and get the win.
You're very good friends with Tyson Fury. You train with him all the time. He had the trilogy with Deontay. What advice did he give you as you prepare to step in with the Bronze Bomber?
Don't get hit with the right hand, and don't get knocked out.
Easy enough. Andy, you'll be in his corner. What have you told him to focus on besides don't get knocked out?
Fight fire with fire.
Really?
Let your hands go.
So you're not going to be surprised if Joseph Parker gets a KO?
We expect it.
They expect it, everybody. Can Joseph Parker knock out Deontay Wilder? We'll find out tomorrow night. He's already got his hands wrapped, but that's because you're trying on gloves, right? You're not ready to go ahead and fight now, are you?
I mean, the fight ain't today.
It's tomorrow.
Oh, shit.
Deontay, I think you've looked more relaxed, more jovial. It seems like this is your second home. It's not quite like Tuscaloosa. Am I seeing things, or are you really this calm and collected?
I mean, I'm just this calm and collective. You know what I mean? I've been here many times before. I done fought his style before. He's never fought a style like mine. He never have felt a power that I bring and possess, you know. So, and I do feel like this is a second home for me. I feel like it's home. The way the people have treated me, the way just the energy and the vibe and the aura, it feel like my second country. So I'm gonna perform as if it is.
You just heard him and his trainer say they're gonna fight fire with fire. If they do indeed do that, what's gonna happen?
Bam, baby, good night.
Your trainer Malik, what do you think for Deontay Wilder, Joseph Parker, when you heard about this matchup? What did you work on in the gym to prepare for this fight?
Well, Joseph, he has the perfect style for Deontay to look spectacular against tomorrow, and that's what he's going to do. Deontay weighed 213, 214. This is a weight where he give out his most decapitation work, and tomorrow is not going to be no difference.
All right, Deontay, your final words to the fans watching around.